There we go. Did we have it muted the entire time? Is that what we did? We had it muted the entire time. Thanks, Drew, for tuning in there. That's an embarrassing little hoot. No. So we had it muted the entire time, and so we're gonna go back through it. All I was saying is that, which is hilarious, by the way. Thank you for letting me know that. Let me see. So all I was letting everybody know is that the pretty little graphics that I made were kind of wrong as it relates to the lineups. They did drop the lineups early. So it looks like, let me see. Looks like the differences I have are in left back. We are going to go with Andy Robertson back there. I was definitely incorrect. We're going to run James Milner in place of Curtis Jones, which is a little surprising to me. And then we are going to run Takumi Minamino at that top right position over Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Now I'm going to keep these graphics up because I'm going to keep these. Can you hear me now, Drew? Is that it? Can you hear me a lot better? I'll check in real quick. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Obviously, this is my first time doing this one here, doing a live stream. So let's see if we can get something here. Open a browser. Got it. All right, let's do this. Okay, perfect. So this is gonna be one of those fun ones where, where years from now they'll say his worst stream was his first stream, but it's okay. I'll learn and live with that. Damn, I was on a roll too. I was killing it with where I was. Let me do a quick refresh here. I want to make sure because the game's going to start at 2:30. So what I was saying is that it does look like there are some changes. I kind of went through and put in a lot of effort on these graphics. I'm actually going to show a different setup on this one. So let's go ahead and head over to pregame here, and then I'll go ahead and drop in the next set of graphics. All right, so originally I had actually had, I thought we were going to run our strongest because we're playing Anfield the first leg. This is the, I guess I should probably introduce myself since you didn't hear anything that I had to say the first time. So my name's Joe. You're watching Up the Reds. I appreciate you tuning in. This is my first live watch along. I've done a few practice sessions. Clearly could have used a few more, but but was prepping pretty much all the way up until the time. So this is actually the rescheduled postponement of the first leg. Liverpool requested a postponement based on a lot of presumptive positive cases of COVID that kind of forced us out. So in terms of the actual starting lineup, they did just release it early. I thought that they'd probably do it more so closer to 2:30, and so I'd actually even have time to get out my potential starting lineup. I did not, but we're going to go through it anyway. So I thought we were kind of going to go with the strongest team I felt like we could field initially. The way that the tie was drawn last time, we would have played Anfield in the second leg. Typically speaking, hey, how's it going? Looks like half my family's in here, and my best friend Drew. Look at that. So appreciate y'all tuning in. Maybe we'll get some others at some point too, but if not, I just appreciate y'all watching. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's the the first time around we were gonna have Anfield second leg, which some people say is a big advantage. I think with European nights and with a lot of the cup competitions we play in, we do tend to be able to kind of recover deficit scenarios when we do play at Anfield the second time. Obviously, Borussia Dortmund, Barcelona, those are examples of times where we went away and kind of got our asses beat and then came home and again with the help of the 12th man we're able to kind of secure that victory. So I kind of thought this time around, since the postponement flipped it, we played Anfield the first leg and Emirates the second, that we'd go with the strongest team I felt we could field. Looks like we got Alisson starting in goal instead of Kelleher. Again, thought Kelleher did a great job in the FA Cup as well as in the last round, but I am glad to see Alisson back between the sticks. I had proposed Tsimikas because I felt like Tsimikas is a bit pacier at times than Robertson, a little bit more creative, and he's been better on his set pieces this year, especially in terms of crossing and off of corners. The last time he played, he failed to beat the man at the first post, which is something that we've seen Robertson and Trent do pretty much the whole time anyway. Virgil and Matip actually, Van Dijk and Matip take up the center back positions, which I actually prefer. I think with Arsenal running, let's see, they're running Nketiah, Martinelli, Lacazette, and Saka up front. So there was some concern that with Trent Alexander-Arnold playing as right back, he tends to get drawn out at times, or he's too advanced up the field, sometimes gets drawn centrally, and he's had a really bad habit lately of when he loses the ball, he likes to chase it all the way up into kind of the opposing third, even if he does. I mean, that's just an easy outlet pass, and then you just have to hope that, Fabinho or the other center back will slot into that. I think Konate shows great promise. And I think his athleticism is up there with some of the best, and I think with further development he'll do really, really well. But the last game, I just felt like his focus lapsed at times, and it allowed him to kind of miss out in the Shrewsbury, and getting that goal. It was as if he was waiting for Kelleher and Van Dijk, and he was kind of in no man's land. Another surprise for me, again, I did think we were going to go Hendo, Fabinho in the midfield. But I did think that we were going to go back and run Curtis Jones again. I know that a lot of people felt like Curtis Jones was all over the place. Oh, thank you for the nice, the kit choice. This is what we should be wearing. I'm just glad that the green screen didn't bleed it away. But anyway, Jones didn't. I think he was absent for a time in the last game, but that appeared to be once we moved. And I can't even remember his name at this point. Was it Bonner? Yeah, once we moved Bonner over and kind of allowed him to take up that left wing spot, then Curtis Jones kind of took on a more defensive role and kind of got more stuck centrally. So in that respect, I kind of thought that we would play Jones. Instead, we're going to play Milner. Nothing wrong with playing kind of the greater expertise. He's a workhorse, so you're definitely going to get coverage with Robertson there. But I think the reason you put Milner out there is to allow Robertson to get up and to disperse to Jota. Even though Jota is out at the left wing, replacing Mane, who's away with Senegal at AFCON. Jota has been playing more centrally as of late. I did believe that we were going to bring Firmino in. The biggest surprise to me is Takumi Minamino. I mentioned in one of my videos, and I'll actually link it once we're done with all of this. I did mention that I felt like this is kind of a make or break time for Minamino. He's had a few opportunities to get in and play. Some people will say, yes, he scored some goals, and got it done from time to time. But again, I think they were on a platter. I don't think he's really created a lot. I think his passing leaves a lot to be desired, and I think his physicality is absolutely poor. I think we saw an incredibly snappy player when he was with Arby. I think we pulled the trigger, we purchased him, brought him in, played him a little bit, loaned him out, and I just don't really see that he's excelled. So if he's going to take his opportunities, it's going to be on days like today, because if not, then I expect him to kind of go the way of Shaqiri. I think he'll mainly ride the bench. Whereas, in all honesty, he's got the ability to play on that left-hand side. He's got the ability to kind of play in a striker position. But again, little surprised, kind of thought that we would see Ox there. Let's see who's on the bench just to see and make sure who's available, because I know there were a lot of question marks. Looks like Ibrahima Konate is available. And again, nothing against him personally. Thought he was a little poor against Shrewsbury, but thought that, if Van Dijk, I think once Van Dijk is a bit more confident in his own return, I think he's going to start, shouting that back line. He doesn't need to do that with Robertson, Trent, and Matip as much, because obviously you have the expertise there. So maybe once he and Konate feel a bit more, comfortable, because again, if you remember last season when we were rotating so many center backs due to injuries, Van Dijk was not a part of that. Hey, Dad, what's going on? Van Dijk was not a part of that, and as a result, I don't think he was experiencing the same degree of rotation that everybody else was, and so I think he's just kind of fallen back into that role, as well as caring, more or less for himself. Again, Joe Gomez is there. Joe Gomez, great player, good to have. He and Nat Phillips, have done us proud. Obviously, Nat Phillips, especially with Joe Gomez going out injured last year. But again, Joe has always been one of those players where if he's not totally in it and he's totally focused, an over-the-top ball can beat him out every single time. I think he's fairly decent with decision making, and he's fairly decent with his positioning. It's just as a center back, I think Joe serves a better role as kind of maybe offering another right back opportunity if Nico's not available. Nico Williams is, of course, on the bench, as well as Tyler Morton and Cade Gordon. Cade Gordon, who, even though last game in the FA Cup, I actually gave the Man of the Match award to Fabinho, I did say that Cade Gordon, in scoring his first senior goal, would have received that award had in my opinion, had Fabinho not been where he needed to be and done what he needed to do. And then obviously Kostas Tsimikas is on the bench there, and then we've got Kelleher, and I'm never going to say his first name because I think it's Queven. It's just terrible, and I'm going to mess it up, and it's a hilarious name. Arteta is working with Bernd Leno on the bench, Rob Holding. I don't know if I re-mentioned that because I'm starting to get confused since I had muted myself for the first four damn minutes of the live stream. But Holding, it's not surprising that he's not coming in. It seemed like Spence from Nottingham Forest kind of had his number all game last time, and I don't know how much longer we'll see Rob Holding in an Arsenal shirt. You got Tavares, Callum Chambers, Pablo Mari, Berith, if that's how you pronounce it, Giroud, Hutchinson. I mean, I think some of these are some academy players because, again, they're not ringing a bell. Both teams obviously have a number of players away at AFCON. I think Arsenal may have four total. Yeah, 4 total that are gone, though, and Liverpool have 3, which include Naby Keita, who I believe is, let me think, I believe he's Guinea. And then Mo Salah is playing with the Pharaohs. They, of course, lost their first game against Nigeria yesterday in AFCON. It may have been the day before. And then Senegal, of course, pulling off a really late win against Zimbabwe with a PK, I think it was, by Sadio Mane. So, with that being said, I think we've got some time before the game. It's 2:16. Looks like coverage is going to start at about 2:30. Let me see here. Looks like we've got 3 viewers in the chat. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. As always, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. I would assume, based on the 3 viewers in the chat who are either related to me or friends with me, that you've already done so. If not, you're terrible and you need to get on it. But yeah, let's go back. I just want to go back to my primary here, and then we will drop this. We'll drop this out. So let me just take a quick peek. All right, so let's talk about some, I don't know, I guess let's, just chat about some transfer news, as everybody likes to do this time of the year. And I'm not one to really buy into the whole transfer shit. I think that, I think it's all just, kind of cringeworthy news plugs that are going out and about. I don't think any of us have any expectation of a lot of these players even coming in. I think it's just clickbait. Every 5 minutes, it's somebody else is tied to the club. Somebody else is coming in. So I think as of late, I just checked Sky this morning. So Jules Kounde is a center back from Sevilla that they're basically saying is potentially tied to Liverpool, not for the winter transfer window, but for the summer transfer window. I personally don't think Liverpool is going to do any business in the winter transfer window. I don't think, I don't think that we're. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think we're going to do any business in the winter transfer window. I just don't really think that it makes sense for us to do so. And I'll have a different. I'm going to do an entire episode on FSG, especially from the perspective of an American and somebody who's kind of dug in a little bit and have started to kind of do research on their ownership of the Boston Red Sox, as well as their new purchase and acquisition of the Pittsburgh Penguins, and really just kind of look at what those ownerships have looked like as compared to Liverpool to kind of maybe be able to determine where we're going in the future. Again, people keep saying that we're still spending down Coutinho money. And to be fair, we are one of the few teams in the top 5 or top 6 teams that actually had a net, at least up until last season, in terms of actual spend. I think fans gave FSG a season to basically say, look, it's the pandemic. You took some losses. But at the same time, I think we're all fully aware of the fact that there need to be some, transfers coming in the summer. First and foremost for all of us, though, is to get that Mo Salah contract done. You know, there's some indication. Let me just go down and I'll just kind of mention it just because some of it's actually kind of been pissing me off. So basically, everybody and their brother's been releasing this video, or they're releasing videos talking about, you know, Mo Salah says that his contract requests are, you know, not, you know, that insane or that crazy, right? And I can even pull it up here. Just real quick, because I want to get the verbiage right in terms of how they're saying it. And Mo Salah's eye-watering wage demands revealed by, revealed by reputable journalist, you know, Chris Bascom, talking about $400,000 a week. $400,000 a week is not eye-watering. It sounds it. It sounds it because obviously I think right now. I don't know what he's on, but I think right now he might be, you know, in the 200s. So it sounds it. But again, you're talking about a player that has consistently performed every single season since we brought him in. Even in the seasons when most of the player, or when many of the fan base were thinking, oh, he's out of form, he's kind of dipped or something like that. He's still a 20-goal striker. So was he putting in 43? Was he putting in, you know, 39? It doesn't matter. I mean, again, on this season, if he maintains and continues to score, you know, he's on par for a 35-plus goal season, all competition. So I don't really think it matters. I think when you look at other players like Hazard that are kind of languishing on the bench over at Real Madrid, who's making 500,000 pounds a week, or euros, who's making 500,000 a week. I think when you look at Coutinho, who just came. I think there was a $140 million transfer deal initially that Liverpool were on the, were benefiting from, and him going to Barcelona. I think his wages over there were $450,000. Now he's on loan back to Aston Villa, and they're going to be paying over 60% of his wages, and Aston Villa's going to be paying $150,000. So you've got a player that is, again, on the fringe, still trying to kind of figure it out. I got nothing but love for, you know, Coutinho as it relates to his talent. But you're talking, you know, these wages. I don't think 400,000 as a wage bump is anything insane. If Gini Wijnaldum had been asking for 400,000, which I think he's actually in the ballpark of 195,000, maybe less. If Gini Wijnaldum had been asking that, or else he was planning, you know, thanks, Mama. You take care and have a good rest of the day. If Gini Wijnaldum had been planning on actually dipping out, then sure, I think. If he was asking 500,000, you just tell him, you know, hit the road and keep on moving. But this is Mo Salah we're talking about. This is a marquee franchise type of player. This is the type of guy that when you get him in, especially for the wage that we did, I mean, really, he's the type of player that has, to me, evidenced the commitment and the focus of a Gerrard type. You know, I think he is as committed to Liverpool as a non-Scouser ever would be. Clearly for 400,000 a week, and I guess that's fair. But at the same time, I think he's earned it, and I think he just, you know, at this point it's just kind of pay the man. Now there's some other comments that people have been making. This I believe is a lot more in the realm of conjecture. A lot of stuff where they're basically talking about. Let me see. Somebody was making a comment. Worrying updates about and nerves and blah, blah, blah. I don't have any nerves as it relates to it. Again, I've said before and I'll say again, I don't think we're going to hear anything about it till spring. Everybody put all this pressure and stuff saying, oh, we got to hear about it we've got to hear a contract agreement before he goes to AFCON. Why? He's got 18 months left. You know, there's nothing about this aside from how do we sell, how do we create more videos, how do we constantly, you know, talk and kind of beat to death this same talking point. At the end of the day, FSG, who already saw what happened when they ignored the fans, they ignored really Klopp and the actual players themselves. They saw the blowback from, you know, Super League, and sure, maybe, you know, they didn't turn around and spend like we thought they would in this kind of apologetic way or anything else. But what I will say is that they, you know, I don't think they're going to make the same mistake again. They know that the fan base loves Mo Salah, and they're going to get it done. I'm not freaking out about that. But yeah, going back to Jules Koundé from Sevilla, again, I don't see us, you know, any mention of a center back at this point. I understand that Matip is actually He's getting up there just a little bit. But again, I would argue that this has probably been his best season. So when you've got Konate as coverage now, when you have players like Joe Gomez that could come in, depending upon what Nat Phillips does, which again I think he'll see a loan out. Italy would be a little weird for me, but either way, I think that's just complete and utter BS. I don't know if that's just the club putting it out, or if it's his agent trying to get more information. Again, Kingsley Coman was one that people pushed for a really, really long time. Again, if anything, I think in that case it was his agent trying to basically say I could go elsewhere, because it looks like he's about to ink another long-term deal with Bayern. And so I think and even one of the quotes for that was Liverpool FC and Man United to miss out on. No, I mean, you're only missing out on if the interest was actually there. And frankly, I don't think it was for Koeman. Luis Diaz from who's the left wing from FC Porto, that was reported on heavily. I did a video on it. Everybody and their brother did a video on it. I don't know. I don't feel as though that was ever a thing, especially because a lot of the quotes on that are saying to solve, Liverpool's AFCON crisis. Well, again, I mean, it's going to be over in February. They'll be back. I don't see a crisis situation, and I will tell you this: if we didn't do anything as it related to losing center backs, like they were going out of style last year, we're definitely not making any moves in the winter transfer to bring in, a left winger when we have players that can certainly fill that. Going back to the kind of Salah mention, somebody said, it's been indicated on multiple outlets, whether it's Sky Germany or everything else, that Erling Haaland is getting a lot of pressure kind of from BVB to decide where he's going to go. And further, that for whatever reason, that Mo Salah demanded that almost as like an extension of his contract negotiations, was to say, hey, we're going to get, let me just type in here so I don't feel like I don't care. But yeah, just sitting there basically saying that, that part of the three tenets are more money, more appreciation, and more firepower, meaning that he, wants, Liverpool to go out for Erling Haaland. Do I think that Mo Salah went out and specifically said, I would like you to go out and get Erling Haaland? No, I don't think he said that at all. And I think that the warping of whatever conversation was had, because again, we never really get any context as to whether this came from the player, this came from the agent, this came from some anonymous source that's just trying to push the idea that we need attacking reinforcements. It's one thing to say, hey, I would like, if I'm going to spend the rest of my career here, then sure, I would like to see that, excuse me, good God, I would like to see that, management is willing to spend in preparing for that, and is going to spend and kind of, the ownership are willing to invest to bring players in, for sure. But at the same time, it does not seem to be Mo's personality to just basically come out and say, I want this person specifically, especially because you've got Jota, who has been doing a pretty good job up top, and then you've got Firmino, who, again, with the exception of last season and for a portion of this season, has kind of been on the downward trend goal-wise. You've got two semi-prolific players that can kind of fill that role. Obviously, Origi is never going to fill that role, as big of a cult hero as he is or not. So I don't know. We'll have to see on that one. It would be great to see, Haaland come our way, but in terms of whether it was something that Salah specifically spoke for, I think that's just a load of shit. So going down, here's one of the crazier ones that I've heard. Eden Hazard from Real Madrid. So a lot of people are saying that Liverpool's taking a look at him, trying to bring him back to the Isles. I think it's complete. I think it's complete horseshit. I mean, again, Hazard goes to Real Madrid for like 90 million. He's 31 years old. He goes for 90 million. Now, this has been a rumor that he's been coming back since November, so they're just beating this dead horse. If he does move in the summer, that's fine. He's not coming to Liverpool, and that's just because if you look statistically at the player that we lost, that we've still yet to fill the void for, Gini Wijnaldum, not the same type of player, doesn't fit the exact same role. But statistically, even at PSG, has been better than Eden Hazard. If you come back to his time with Liverpool, has been better in his passing, better in his hold-up play, better to some extent in his scoring. So I think as it relates to that, I think that this is probably one of the more laughable ones. They're the same age. I did look it up because I took the notes here. So Hazard's making $532,000 a week, give or take. Why would we do that? Even if we negotiate Salah, and it looks like we're trying to take care of our players because we brought in a lot of players, Robertson included, who came in at really low transfer fees, and now it looks like in terms of re-signing their contracts, we're trying to pay them what they feel they're owed. So I see no reason in doing that, especially when Genie at $165K a week, we weren't really willing to offer that. Why are you bringing in a Hazard? Bowen and Rafinha, those are interesting. Bowen, that's a non-starter for me because I think he's a sub at best. I think he comes in and fills a role like Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Not that I have a problem with Ox. I think he does work, and I think he's had a lot of injury issues, not his fault. But I just don't see it. Rafinha, now that's an interesting one. I think he's very interesting. But with Jota slotting up top as a striker, maybe there's some competition in between those three. With Mane if he gets back in form. For the longest time, it was, oh man, he's definitely going to Bayern. He's already inked the deal. The media wanted us to think that it's all done and dusted, when in fact it wasn't. So, who knows? Rafinha's in limbo. If anything happens there, it'd be in the summer, but I really don't see a reason to. Now, moving into the realm of what I would like to see versus this rumor mill of horseshit that's been going around, there are two players in particular that I would really, really, really love to see come to Liverpool. One this summer and the next the summer following, so that we're not paying out the nose for them. So the first is Jude Bellingham. Again, I think you go to any of the fan channels, I think it's Jude Bellingham. He's got, he's got a great rapport with some of the senior members of our team, like Jordan Henderson, that have played with him on the national team for England. He's really killing it and developing very, very well over at Borussia Dortmund. I think a player like him under Klopp, you're not getting a lot of time if Klopp decides not to renew in 2024, which I don't know that he's going to, because again, Klopp has said he's leaving before from Dortmund, and he did it, and then he came over here. So I'm not sure which way that's going to go. But what I will say is that I think Bellingham has. He's got measured attitude, which I think fits. He's got a great respect for LFC legends, and has even said that he'd love to emulate, Gerrard. He's young, and he's already breaking knees out there with his skills. I think it'd be really cool to see him and kind of Harvey Elliott kind of going back and forth. Let me just check this real quick. I think it'd be really cool to see both he and Harvey Elliott kind of going toe-to-toe, on that side, just to see, kind of for the competition. And then in time, I'm also a big, huge fan of, and I'm going to say his name wrong, but Ryan Gravenberch. He's currently in the Eredivisie playing for Ajax, I believe it is. Yeah, he plays for Ajax. He's more of a defensive mid, but can play on the left-hand side as well. He's the type of player that I think comes in, fills a role behind Henderson, if Henderson's out, kind of, and this is in the world where, Milner has obviously moved on to player, manager, coach at this point, but he's also the type of player that can create and that can really slot in if Fabinho's ever injured for any reason, and he's somebody that, at least if he continues into the next season, we can get for 50 mil. Very young player, very talented as well, so you start to see yourself building a very young, talented midfield. So I guess it's time that we start to focus a little bit back on the game. It is 2:33, starting to get some coverage coming in. I am watching this from ESPN Plus. I'm sure the rest of you have a different channel that you're watching through. Let me pull this up. So it looks like the game's probably going to kick off. They say 2:45, but the last time I started the 2:45 match, it was actually 3, so we'll see what happens here. In terms of... Let me just look here. So I did want to talk about, because in terms of some of the stuff we've been seeing, especially on the back of Liverpool having to postpone, we started seeing a hell of a lot of anger coming from Arsenal fans, basically claiming that we cheated, and that we we're using it to our advantage. I don't know why. None of us still know why. You can't go to a single fan channel and then really be able to break it out. They make the claim that they're at a disadvantage in taking on Tottenham. Well, you're at a disadvantage in taking on Tottenham because you're a shit team. It has nothing to do with the fixtures because, again, Liverpool is playing in a 3-4-3-4-3, fixture split, the same that you are. And, now instead of, Anfield second, you're playing Anfield first. And so if there ever was an advantage to that belief, then, that's out the window as well. So it's just bitching for bitching's sake. Clearly, AFTV went out of their way to make as many videos as possible, and they love to do it because the more they do it, the more Liverpool fans jump on their page, chew their asses out, the more views they get and everything else. It's just a machine. It's just churning it through. So, but I did find it interesting because obviously, you've seen Arsenal kind of turn it around, and I will say their youngsters have done a good job in doing so, but I do think it's hilarious because if you go back just a month, you'll start seeing things like Arsenal are back to their top form, which was expected after all these gems of matches, Liverpool, Man United. A victory like never, a defeat like forever. Let's go Gunners. So basically this guy's talking about the frustration of losing. The next says, typical Arteta strategy. Arsenal played fantastic until they scored a goal. After scoring a goal, Arsenal went straight into a defensive shell and then got pummeled. Arteta's trust the process is the most sarcastic line that I've ever heard in 2021. Arteta out. Aubameyang, Martinelli. Now this one was fucking hilarious. I don't laugh a shit ton, but this one made me laugh. Aubameyang, Martinelli, and again, this was a month ago, so this is even knowing what we know in terms of Aubameyang and his play up to that point and his involvement in the team, as well as the likelihood that he was about to dip out. But Aubameyang, Martinelli, and Pepe would make a perfect trio, like Messi, Neymar, and Suarez at Barcelona. Somebody actually made this comment on an AFTV video. They actually made this comment. And it'd be one thing if like nobody liked it. 75 fucking people liked this thing. I'll repeat it. Aubameyang, Martinelli, and Pepe would make a perfect trio like Messi, Neymar, and Suarez. Even when the Liverpool front three were at their best, probably 2017, 18, 18, 19. Even when the Liverpool three were at their best, Mane, Firmino, Salah just flooring it. Even Sturridge and Suarez before and kind of S&S, even when the front three were at their best, it would be very difficult. You can make an argument, but it would be very difficult to say that it was a better pairing than Messi, Neymar, or Suarez, or really any front three that involved, Iniesta, Messi. So that guy, he's out of his mind as far as it goes. Other ones, 3 weeks ago, a wise man once said, "It's time to go. Arteta, get out or get the fuck out of our club." Mikel Arteta will break another record this season, finish 8th 3 years in a row. So again, the whole point being, and then you obviously see 2 weeks ago is Bukayo Saka better than Jadon Sancho? Now we're starting to compare obviously to teammates. So in that scenario, it's we're hearing stuff about players at AFTV and fans over at AFTV basically saying that the reason Liverpool faked a bunch of tests, false positives, and I'm not going to go into the medical aspects of it because again, that's for your National Health Services NHS to talk to you about. But what I will say is that again, false positives happen. They happen all the time. I happen to have a friend of mine that had a false positive. Once the PCR tests are good, I think it speaks more to the fact that the rapid tests themselves are just not that accurate, or at least not as it relates to newer variants. But again, I'm not going down that road. But I think it was kind of a disgusting clickbaity trend that AFTV went down. I don't slat all Arsenal fans because very soon after, I ended up getting into a mini feud with someone on Twitter who turned around and started shitting all over Leicester for getting an additional postponement to their Premier League match. And so it's hilarious. He's got a tweet below where he's talking about how big of shitheads Arsenal fans are for doing that and completely misses the mark on the hypocrisy of doing it again. So who knows? We'll have to see. But let me just check here. Semifinal number 2, first leg. Obviously, we all got to watch, Chelsea finish off. It's kind of yet another boring game, but we got to see Chelsea finish off Tottenham, so they'll advance. So the winner of this obviously will play Chelsea in the final. I think, I mean, in my, I'm going to go ahead and call it. I think it's a Liverpool win 3-1, and I think we're going to, advance to the second leg, and hopefully we can obviously then, I'm not sure what we'll do then. I'll have to look at the fixtures to see if we'll kind of mix up the team a bit. In the past, I mean, obviously once you get to the semis in the past that we've cared about, the Carabao Cup and kind of the FA Cup. We're still in the running for both. And I think we've got, who do we have? Middlesbrough? I think we have Middlesbrough for the FA Cup. Obviously, Champions League, we're playing Inter, so I think we've got the harder one. There was actually an interesting article, one of the few that you can actually catch coming out of the media groups that tend to post, 90% of the time, Daily Star, all that stuff. There was actually a very interesting article that came out that basically spoke to how do Liverpool and Chelsea stop City. And again, they're at the wheel of their own destiny. I mean, we have dropped points. They dropped points early on, but not like we have, as of late. So, we dropped points, they dropped points. It doesn't really matter. The only thing that we can do at this point is to keep it as close as possible to gain. I think we have one game in hand, might be able to bring it down to maybe an 8 point or a 7 point gap. Either way, we just got to keep as close as we can to them and then hope that they slip up, especially because they've got as many games to play as we do. I think their Champions League match, though, unfortunately, is against Sporting out of Portugal. And in kind of looking back at that team and reviewing, I don't see how Man City has a problem. I think we've got the much more difficult draw in the round of 16 play. But again, who knows? We'll see, because obviously we want to win something. But and as a last thing, and I'll kind of jump into this with the video on FSG as a last thing, I really do think that FSG do intend to spend this summer, and I think you're going to see it. Not because I'm trying to back them up. I think what they did with Super League was incorrigible. I think it was absolutely just disgusting, and I think it's one of the first times they've really cut both the fan base and a big part of their own club out of a decision. So I think that they definitely need to get out and spend and kind of do. But I will say that I think that, last season with the pandemic as well as with the injuries, Klopp has always kind of come out and said his own thing, regardless of maybe what, Henry was thinking in FSG. So I think in that scenario, I think when Klopp came out and said, I've already got, a lot of great signings coming back, this summer, when he's talking about Verge coming back and when he's talking about Joe Gomez and Thiago and everything else, obviously Thiago and his injury proneness, which we hope, rectifies itself. Either way, I think we're going to spend this summer because I think it's so very different. Players are coming out now, so we're going to go ahead and focus up on the match. And I'm going to pull up this timer. I jacked this timer up the last time I did a watch along, and I'm going to try not to screw it up this time, so that it'll actually play up on the screen. Crowd's out looking good. Those Anfield nights. We need another big one tonight. Go ahead and seal the deal here, boys. Let's bury them. Be interesting to see how they come out too, in terms of how high flying they are. I think they'll be playing. Excuse me. I believe they'll be playing a 4-2-3-1. Obviously, once the game gets started, doesn't really matter because they'll start going all over the place anyway. But I think they'll be playing the 4-2-3-1 that they've been playing. The 4-2-3-1 that they've been playing, and obviously we'll be playing the 4-3-3, maybe a false, with Firmino slotted in there. Really good to see. Obviously, the crowd's out in force. And I'm gonna be honest, I kind of hope we pummel the shit out of them. Like, I'm talking like no holds bar. I mean, I gave a 3-1 in terms of that. I hope it's far worse. I hope we absolutely just decimate the shit out of them, because again, and I'm not saying that all Arsenal fans are bad. I'm not going to go down that path. But again, the boys over at AFTV making all that noise and shit, I think it was absolutely just ludicrous, disrespectful. I think it's conspiracy theory, and it's like, if you're gonna spend time in your bunker coming up with shit like that, just do it without obviously advancing it to everybody else. So who knows? Maybe they'll come out and feel like they were hard done by from our postponement, and they're pissed, and so they're gonna come out flying. And then maybe we come out with a chip on our shoulder as well. I mean, I think we're always up for Arsenal, and I think vice versa. But we'll just have to see. Oh, and Minamino, Minamino is going to be on the. Did they just say Minamino is going to be on the left side, and they're moving Jota to the right? We'll see if that's accurate. Again, for those of you tuning in, I greatly appreciate it. It looks like we've got 2 viewers. One of these days, we'll be able to bump up that viewer count, but I do appreciate anybody and everybody that's tuned in as I'm trying to build this channel. The only other thing I have to do is I have to remember to actually put goals if they're scored, so. Looks like we're getting ready to blow the whistle. Looks like we have Michael Oliver today. All right, everyone takes a knee. All right, and we are underway. Be very interesting to see too. Obviously, I do think as much as I think that Arsenal fans are overblowing it, I do think that Saka has had a very, very good season, and I also think it is hilarious with all the news basically saying Liverpool are interested in him. Not because I think that he isn't an okay player or a decent player. It just kind of reeks of increasing the appreciation and kind of the contract value from Arsenal. So it'll be Arsenal throw in here. Milner, as usual, is advancing. Looks like Arsenal's in early, and there's a bit of a bumble from Alisson. It's going to be a free kick, though. It's actually a very, very good ball in. I don't know. I guess Alisson calls out Mate, but he's got to get that grab. Even if there is a foul, he's got to catch that ball. It's an injury, 1 minute and 27 seconds already. Can't quite see who it is yet. Looks like getting a little icy hot on his pubic bone. Don't worry, I think he's going to run it off. Cedric with the pubic bone injury. Ball played out to Robertson. Van Dijk gets it back. You can definitely see an attempted press early on from Arsenal. Minamino gets it in. Comes off of White. Minamino gives it back to Robertson for the throw-in. Lacazette's pressing on Van Dijk, who gets the ball easily away to Alisson. Now, Alisson's got to figure the fuck out. Okay, he gets the ball out to Van Dijk. Minamino beaten out easily on that long ball, but looks like Jota's going to pick it up early. Ball to Firmino, plays it back to Minamino. Milner plays it out to Robertson. There's some quick passing, not really advancing anymore, and obviously Arsenal's quick to get back behind the ball, looking pretty organized. Long ball out to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who chips it over the outside, but I don't think he's going to be able to get past Tierney. Is that Tierney? Yeah, Tierney plays it out for first corner of the game for Liverpool. Tierney's looking fit, though, I will say, compared to last season. I know he's not been playing as much, but he's looking fit. Liverpool stacking the box. That's one area that we need to improve on, are our set pieces. Early ball in, again, short, as usual. Just can't seem to beat it past the first man. I'm not even really seeing what the tactic and strategy is there. Good ball played to Henderson, who plays it long. It's going to go to Milner, who plays it back in directly to Arsenal. Ooh, Firmino with a good pressure, but it's going to set it out for an Arsenal throw-in. Arsenal started out pressing pretty hard, but Liverpool seems to have kind of coped and kind of pushed it back. But I will say that Arsenal's shape is pretty good. I think by this point, hopefully Arteta's managed to drill in some of the stuff. Matip might not beat... Is that Saka? No, it wasn't Saka, excuse me. Might not beat him for pace. Alisson plays it out, but doesn't do a great job. Saka overplays it to Alisson. The interesting part about, I guess, what I would call Project Arsenal as well as Liverpool. Holy shit! I think Gabriel played the ball back to Ramsdale. Looked like he was about to bury it in his own net, but it just missed the post. So I think that's going to go out for a Liverpool corner. Yeah, but what I will say is, it's interesting. I mean, obviously Arsenal have spent in their time, as have Liverpool, but Arsenal went from beginning very poorly to kind of riding the ship. Once Arteta got to kind of impose his will a bit, and we're not going to say that they always get it right, but I also don't think you always have to spend your way out of it. Liverpool with the corner. Appears to have been easily headed away, but Henderson gets the ball back in. Saka plays it out. Robertson is going to get there. Fabinho back on the ball. Milner's in the back. And Van Dijk comes back to collect. As has typically been the case, Liverpool tends to be playing... I mean, obviously what we're doing is we're trying to stretch the formation, but we're still playing... Still focused heavily on the wing play. I'd like to see... Oh, great little dip there from Minamino. Goes to Robertson. Is he going to do something? He plays the ball in. I don't know if Firmino actually got a head on it, but went straight through to Ramsdale, who trapped it against the ground. Decent ball off of what appears to be kind of a lucky bounce from Minamino. And it wouldn't have mattered anyway because it looks like Firmino was offsides. But no, Liverpool, my biggest problem with Liverpool is that we've not really played or made a lot of central attempts. I think that's something that we've been missing, kind of in having a distant shooter or somebody that's even willing to take it. Every once in a while, Henderson or like an Oxlade. Hold on. But looks like Gabriel's going against Trent Alexander-Arnold on the outside there. They match each other pace for pace. Alisson standing on the ball but needs to get rid of it. And Henderson plays it back. What I will say is a lot of teams have obviously had the fear. And again, as a Liverpool fan, we take a lot of pride in Anfield being a fortress. FSG spending a lot of money so that we can hopefully get up to, I think, 70,000 at Anfield. But I will say that after last season, with all the injuries and us kind of dropping such an abysmal home record, I think Anfield, we kind of need to build that bitch back up into a fortress because, I mean, it's shaky at times and it's awfully quiet at times too. Henderson playing it in the mid. Van Dijk steps up. Looked like was that Martinelli that came in late, kind of took out Van Dijk. I think it's just body to body and light. Virgil van Dijk saying, "Get off the ground, bitch." Look, I mean, don't run into a statue if you're not ready for the pain. Yep, Van Dijk cleared it. Martinelli just bumped himself and flew. There you go. He's back up and moving. Fabinho goes down. Can't really see what happened. It looked like he went down rather easily off maybe a shove from Lacazette. Appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Part of this whole thing is for everybody to join in. So if you're not super busy, join in on the chat. Let's talk about this game if you're watching, and if not, hopefully my commentary will give you an idea of how it's going. Matip plays it back to Alisson, who's been a little lackadaisical on the ball. Plays a good ball out. I think after the days of Mignolet, and some of the flubs of Alisson, just need to fucking clear it sometimes. Minamino comes in, couldn't quite get off of it. Robertson's probably going to play it back here to Minamino, who plays it to Milner. Again, we're playing the wide wing play. I'd like to see somebody try some sort of move up the middle aside from Matip. I swear to God, it seems like Matip is... There he goes. There goes Matip right now. He's like our most direct offensive player is our fucking center back. It's ridiculous. And he's very good at it. I don't know if it's because teams are just confused, because he's just lanky and it doesn't even seem like he plays. He's not playing with great control all the time. But he still manages to just shift on right through. Let's shift on over to our other scene here, see what we got going. Just to change it up, you know. I can't even tell where the camera is. I'm just all over the place. We do have some other cameras that we're setting up too, so we can do some more fun stuff with some of the pregame shows as well as some of the videos. We've got other cameras we've set up with other green screens, but I'm a little too tall at the moment, and I might have hung the green screens a little too low, so it kind of chopped off my upper body. Cedric's down for the second time this game. I don't know how he's doing it. It looks like he's done something to his hip or his pelvis. I don't know how much longer he'll be in and if he can walk it off. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. Never mind. All right, so it does look like there's been a change here in the, just approximately the 11th minute. Does look like Cedric came off. Let me see if they've got it. Yeah, Cedric came off and Callum Chambers came in. Jota gets swept on the field. He stays down. Looks like they're going to allow play to continue. Henderson presses the shit out of the ball. He's a little bit past. I don't know that he can do anything with it, though. He pressed Ramsdale really well. Ramsdale was smart. Didn't go down for it. Didn't commit any sort of a foul. Henderson managed to, I think, get the corner out of it. We'll have to see. It was a great press by Henderson. I don't know, though. And looking back, I have to see if it came off his body or his arm. Let me focus up here. Doesn't look like a handball. Looked like it right in the chest. So this will be the third corner, I believe, for Liverpool. Come on, get past the first man. There we go. Ramsdale gets a good hand on it. Van Dijk was definitely up for it. Robertson seems a bit trapped back. He's going to play to Henderson. He's going to recycle it out to Fabinho. Kind of reset a little bit. Decent little lob ball in. Oh, looks like Robertson's on it. Is he going to play it through? He plays it centrally and kicks Jota practically in the throat. Minamino with a good ball in. Firmino's not there. It gets past Ramsdale, but it just goes right across the face of goal. Arsenal tries a quick counter, but Milner snuffs it out. Ugh. That's right, I'm finishing that off with the stress. All right, Fabinho. Moving it up. Henderson with a good driving ball. Robertson's there. You got to play it, and somebody's got to be in there for it. Robertson's taking it on his own, shoots, and decides to hit a player in the face or the arm. It's going out for the fourth corner. Well, we are not without set pieces here. It was actually a good... I mean, that could have been a boo-foo on... I believe it was White. Yeah. White was actually the one that ended up knocking that ball out and past Ramsdale. If there had been even the slightest other deflection, it would have gone into the goal. Robertson with the ball in. Again, can't get it past the first man. I understand that we're trying to flick it, but again, at the point that it hits the first man, there's not, we don't even have a single player there. He's not there yet, so it's just being easily pushed out. I don't know what the fuck our set piece coach is doing, but just throw the shit in there. We either throw it directly to the keep or we lob it too close. Can't get it past the first man. Liverpool press. Minamino's on it. Minamino with a tight move, but it's played out of bounds by Gabriel. Excuse me. Apparently a message was deleted by Drew Dunsweiler, which obviously means that it was, yes, he tried to post a link, which is not allowed, sir. My bot has handled you. Is that a TikTok? Probably. All right, Robertson with a quick ball. Plays it across. Goes through. Quick shot by Trent. Ricochet is off of an Arsenal defender. Another lob ball in. Trent cannot get to it. Matip thought that Trent was about a foot taller than he was, but it was a good try. That's right, popping a suds. I still think that's a hoot. What was it, 7 minutes of complete silence at the beginning of the broadcast? I mean, I was going ham on it too. All right, long ball dealt with by Robertson. I don't really want to jinx, but I will obviously say that, I mean, statistically, Arsenal has done, I don't think we've challenged them in any, sort of way that I would say is, going to lead to a goal. But I will say that they have had very little possession of the ball. Clearly, that doesn't always matter. For example, had Tottenham actually scored a goal in that first Chelsea game, then I think they would have scored a goal with less than like 20% average possession. Right now, I think Liverpool's probably sitting at about 80% possession. Henderson's down, nursing something. I don't know, elbow to the eyeball. I'm not sure. I'm just going to say, as a klutz, I fuck myself up on a daily basis far more than these people are getting. Holy shit. Long ball into Saka. Is he out? Yep, and he is. Okay, so he is offside. So, again, clearly, this is some shit the league's got to figure out. I mean, I understand different organizing body for EFL, but it's a problem that we keep seeing in the fucking Premier League. We see it in EFL. We see it in the FA. We see it everywhere. Figure out the offside calls. Just figure them out, because that was a full 6-7 seconds. If Robertson comes in there on Saka and tries to aggressively slide tackles and jacks him up and it's offsides, that player got injured for absolutely no fucking reason. I get why they're doing it. They're trying to play it in case there's a margin of error or something. Maybe. I don't even know. Maybe I don't get why they're doing it. I didn't. Very confused. Tremendous. Gotta go, bro. All right, man. I appreciate it. Take care. Yeah, you do have a long drive home. All right, so we are killing it here. Looks like we've got one viewer. All right, Joel Matip with a great little header down there. Henderson plays it across. We're in the 17th, almost 18th minute. I wouldn't say a lot of real threat outside of one chance maybe that's been created by Liverpool. Aside from that, I think it's been a pretty quiet game. Both Arsenal seems content at the moment to sit back. I think they're hoping they can kind of keep it to a limited affair and then maybe get that advantage at Emirates. I don't know what the fuck Fabinho just did. He just like lobbed the ball back to his own player, but Alisson recovers. Played back to Fabinho. Henderson played the ball back to Lacazette, who skies one from 40 fucking yards. I have to look back at the replay though. I think it's gonna be wide as hell, but I mean, just a bad ball. Henderson just tries to dimple it away to Milner, I think. That's something that we have been seeing from Liverpool lately. If you're going to play a 4-3-3, such an aggressive style, you have to be clean. You know, whenever you come out for the ball, I mean, that's body to body. I don't know about that. Whenever you come out for the ball and you make your challenges, you've got to win your challenges. And when you're passing out from it, you have to, you know, remain in the play. You've got to pass it. Looks like Milner's fucked up now. You know, you've got to be clean with it, because if you give up a ball in that scenario, especially with how we play a high line, you know, it's already a 4-3-3 that's kind of on this ultra attack gegenpress, but then we also play a high line. I think it just opens you up to counterattacks. And if you go back to that Chelsea game, which is something that we need to keep fresh in our mind in case we make it through these legs and face Chelsea in the final. We need to keep in mind that type of quick reaction by Chelsea to kind of counter what is a weakness led to 2 goals in 3 minutes when we were already up 2. So Robertson with the ball back to Alisson, who's going to play it to Matip, who's going to play it directly back to Alisson, who needs to get rid of it quickly and does. Into Fabinho. Plays it to Henderson, who plays it back. Again, appreciate everybody joining us. This is our very first ever live watch along. We do have some videos if you want to tune in to some of the videos that we've made covering different topics, transfers, news, as well as some other watch alongs. You can also tune into our other channel, TNT, The Neutral Take, if you're interested in watching some of our watch alongs of other teams. Uh-oh, this looks dangerous. Matip's got to get to it. Matip does. And this is why Matip plays. This is why Matip was chosen for this game and not Konate, because Matip, again, best season that he's played, period. Just took on 2 Arsenal players right there, and with an odd bounce had no right to win it, and did. Robertson plays it centrally to Firmino, who's going to try to get it somewhere, but he doesn't really have a man. He's moving it himself to Minamino, has it in the box, but loses it. It stays in. Minamino plays it back out, but gives it cheaply away, but it goes out for a Liverpool throw-in. All right, let's go back to our other scene here. Game definitely hasn't lacked in energy. It's just lacked in really anything in the final third, frankly. Just missing some creativity on Liverpool's part. Good long ball there that Firmino brings down. Goes to Minamino, who plays it again to Firmino. Can he get a ball across maybe to Jota? Plays it through, but it deflects off of Saka. Firmino with another good ball in straight up top to Minamino, who's going to do nothing with it. That's the problem. I've always had that problem with Taki. He's not going to take players on 1v1 too often, and more often than not, I feel like he just kind of kills out any momentum of the play. Milner plays a shit ball into the feet of Lacazette, who has completely opened up Saka. Van Dijk has to be very, very good here. Van Dijk takes on Saka, goes back. A little bit of confusion there, but Arsenal had a decent chance there. Jota to Firmino. who needs to get it out. We really need to try to work a counter before we let them back. Great long ball played to Jota, I believe. Oh, shit. He goes down. It's a foul. It's going to be a red. It's a red. Who got that? Is it Granit Xhaka? Wow. I'll have to go back and see. It looked like Xhaka just put his leg up on the wrong side of Jota, who was receiving in that long ball. Now, you know, Ramsdale was pushing in. I don't know if it would have created anything, but as kind of the last defender there, I don't even know if he's the last defender, frankly. I got to see this line. Let me see. So Jota brings it down with his chest, but does take a kick directly to the chest. They're both watching the ball. I mean, it's a high foot. I mean, it's a dangerous ball. It's one of those where they're both watching it. By the time he kicks him, I think if Xhaka's pulling out, I don't think it's a red. But this is going to be a red, and Xhaka's out. And I'm going to be honest. He seems to do this type of shit with regular frequencies. His head's not in it or something, but it's not PK territory. It's just it's a red card. It's going to be a free kick from outside. It is Trent Alexander-Arnold territory, though. Ugh. Come on, Trent. Do something with it. Now, if you're an Arsenal fan that's tuning in, I'm not going to say that you shouldn't be worried going down 10 men, but I will say that if Mikel has done his homework, he has seen where Chelsea's gone down 10 men and still managed to hold us to nothing. So, again, but as a Liverpool fan, go fuck yourselves, and that was a well-deserved that was a well-deserved red card, and I hope Trent buries this shit. I do believe Trent is going to be the one to take it. Ramsdale's been good, though. I mean, he's been good. Not specifically this game, I'm not saying, but just in general. Because when y'all purchased him, I was not aware of kind of his prowess. I kind of thought, is he just there to back up Leno? All right. Come on, Reds. And he hits the wall. Strikes it and it bounces. Fuck. All right. Trent hit it with his purse. It was very light, very weak. It was close on. It was close on to the wall, so I don't know what he was doing there. But he bounced directly off the wall. Squandered opportunity. He did get the rebound and then threw it wide. Looks like they might be, I can't tell here, Holding and Tavares are both warming up, so I'm not sure which one's coming in. Maybe both for that kind of defensive sub. You need to get additional subs here, so. Van Dijk heads the ball back, not necessarily the best. Excuse me, not necessarily the best thing he could have done there. It's going to be a throw in Liverpool's third. All right, Liverpool pressuring. Hendo plays the ball up and out of bounds. Klopp watches it. That's it. All right. 26th minute. I mean, a red card in the 26th minute, that is, that's painful. But you never know. You get through to halftime. It looks like Holding's going to come in as well right before the half. I mean, that's a quick double sub. Obviously, to pull some of your offense, your offensive targets and your offensive pieces off the pitch, and then obviously kind of pull the defenders in. Clearly looks like they're going to try to, sit back and try to ride that 0-0 till halftime, where they can, get in and maybe tweak something else. Nketiah comes off, which, is unfortunate, because I thought Nketiah was actually pressing quite well along with Saka. Obviously, the name of the game for Liverpool will be to press. You don't want to give up something too easily. Good communication from Van Dijk there on the attempted long ball to Lacazette. It's out to Matip. Alexander-Arnold plays a nice ball across. It is kicked out by the defender and is going to go out for yet another Liverpool corner. Is it too much to ask, just fucking once, that we get it past the first man? That's all I'm asking. Get it past the first man. Don't put it directly into Ramsdale's hands, and let's see what fucking happens. We have far too many aerial threats to have been so lethargic. And, of course, we play a short fucking oddball. Milner from the outside, who almost gives away to a pressing Lacazette. Looks like we've screwed the pooch on yet another. Here comes Trent Alexander-Arnold, the outside, who plays it. Robertson finally biffs it in, doesn't do shit with it. Firmino's holding. Great hold-up play to Milner. Milner on the back post. Looks like up from Van Dijk. I mean, again, at this point, we have fucked this 7 ways from Sunday. Matip obviously goes in for it. Again, you're outnumbering the opposition. You play a short ball. You almost get pressed out by Lacazette from Arsenal. Could have lost it. Could have been bad as fuck there. Who's making the decisions on these corners? Just put the fucking ball in there. Long ball to Henderson, goes short. Tierney plays it out. It'll be a Liverpool throw-in. Fucking garbage. Milner picks it up in the center. Going to Robertson, but Robertson's really just got Firmino as an option who has to play it back. Milner's going to obviously recycle it back to Trent. To Jota. To Fabinho, who gets it stripped. Jota moves up to take it. Trent's got it back. Again, the only attacking player that you're going to have pushing right now is Lacazette. So, again, if you're not going to move the ball quickly and centrally, and this is, again, Minamino, I swear to God, I'm about to lose my shit. You know, he's got 0, and this is not to be a fucking negative Nancy when we're, you know, it's 0-0, 30 minutes in, they're down a man. But I swear to God, the man's tactical awareness is dick all. It's dick all. He has no concept of who's around him. It's like peripherally, he just, no idea. Ball back to Milner. Robertson should play the ball in here. Gets a good head on it. Milner can bring it down. He does. It's going to get cleared out by Arsenal again. Lacazette's trying to get on it. Hendo kind of beats it up, but ends up playing it back to Lacazette. And then Hendo correctly plays it all the way back to Alisson. Fuck. Get up. And Lacazette. All right, Milner plays it out to Robertson again, so we can recycle it for the 400th fucking time. Here's Firmino. Firmino, take a shot. He can't because he sucked the players in, which, again, is the point. You got Milner on the outside who tries to play a ball. Looks like it's going to go out for a goal kick. And, again, this is what we see time and time again. Now, I'm not saying that this is any indication of where the match is going to go. But what we've seen from Liverpool is that lack of speed and creativity and pace in the attack has led to just the exact same. I mean, we're playing the same game over and over again. Doesn't matter if it's Wolves, doesn't matter if it's Burnley, doesn't matter if it's Arsenal. When teams come at us hard, we can score goals against them. When teams kind of buckle into a shell, we're completely fucking lost. We have no concept of what to do. And the sad part is that teams have created a point-winning strategy against Liverpool because of that. To where they basically say, if we play this way, so long as we don't err in any crazy fucking way, we should be able to at least take a point from Liverpool. It doesn't matter. There's no excuse. We've played them just as many times. We've played teams like that just as many times to have not figured out a way through at this point. I'm seeing the same players making the same fucking runs. And just completely giving away there to Tierney, who apparently decides to take his fucking aggression out on the lower stand there. Because he just wallops somebody in the face. But easily given away by Matip. This is Well, it's stupid. You're at Anfield, a man down, 0-0. This is the time to put the series to bed. Ball into Firmino, who plays it, overplays it. Robertson just did not push up on Lacazette there. Played back to Fabinho. Yes, Kirsten, we are playing like we always do in the sense that we are constantly cycling the ball left to right with short, long balls and just can't seem to do shit with it. Now, Fabinho can score him from a distance. I kind of wish he would take a strike, or Trent. Trent just skies the shit out of that. At this point, Trent is trying to fucking hit Everton's stadium. Goodison. Personal vendetta against Goodison's new ground and turf manager. He's just trying to fucking sky it up and hit him. You know, I will say this with 3 viewers, and as my viewer count increases, you will never find me repping some sort of body wash or genital turf management system. That's not because I'm calling other channels sellouts. It's just I don't think I'm going to get those opportunities. I'm the type of guy that gets like hemorrhoid cream. That's what I get to represent if I ever make it there. But I do appreciate everybody tuning in, though. That's kind of the point of this. I've been doing some watch-alongs and some other videos, but without feedback from people in the chat, without other fans and questions coming in, it gets a little lonely. Minamino gets entrapped on the outside again, beaten far too easily, and I think he went down too easily too. Whatever, fuck it, we'll take it. But Robertson plays probably the dumpiest fucking ball in I've ever seen. And again, this is the difference because again, and Milner is right and proper in yelling at Robertson, or he might be yelling at the ref to say, "Did you not see that?" Did Saka just come off? No, I don't think so. I think he was just getting a pat on the head by Arteta. The biggest issue I have, where is the weak link now and who needs to be substituted? I'm not sure at this point. I think it's a little too early to talk about who needs to be substituted for the Reds, but I will say that given the unlikelihood that Arsenal's going to press super hard, if I were to change somebody at this point, I would probably swap Robertson shortly after the half for Tsimikas because I think we need a little bit better service in, and I think Tsimikas has been that guy. Like I said, I think Robertson's the better defender at the moment, but I think that Tsimikas will give better service. And then eventually, as I believe, I think Taki is blowing his opportunity yet again. It's early on, but I think Taki's going to blow it, and I think Ox is going to come in. Look, I mean, credit to Arsenal right now. When the ball comes in their area, they are being extremely aggressive with their triangles. They're pressing very, very, very well. Liverpool just need to do a better job at moving. I see Taki standing, waiting for a pass. I know that he has eyeballs because he's looking around. I don't know what his field of view is. It might be 12% for all I fucking know. It appears that way. Hell, at this point, Matip, drive in. There you go. Drive in. Drive. Firmino plays it to Matip, who played it off the shoulder and probably had a better chance than Minamino has all game. Fabinho plays it back into Trent. Trent to Jota. Jota plays it in, but it cannot be returned to him because we can't make simple passes. Jota gets it. Minamino. Now watch. Minamino will score some fucking banger, and I'll look like a dipshit. Minamino plays it through to Robertson, who plays it straight. Gets in. I don't know who that was that came in wildly. Matip to Henderson. I mean, it's just frantic at this point, but Robertson's going for it. Plays through to Minamino. Minamino bounces off the player. It's going to be the 6th corner of the game, I think. Jota? Yeah, no, Jota's on. Yeah, he's on. And he's involved, but I think this will be our 6th corner. Possession's currently 80-20. 37th minute. All right. Trent Alexander-Arnold to take the 6th corner of the game. Plays it low as fuck again and easily cleared out. I mean, here's the thing. If I'm Jurgen Klopp, I understand that if I'm Jurgen Klopp and you can't beat the first man 5 out of 6 times, and obviously Ramsdale comes in and makes a save. You can't beat the first man 5 out of 6 times. You don't take the fucking corners. You get yelled at, and they take it away from you. Okay? You don't take the corner. Get Milner's ass over there to take the corner. See if he can do it. If he can't do it, fuck it. At this point, we've had enough corners that you could have allowed half the team to try. All right, it's out for a Liverpool throw-in. All right. Jota's on the ball, plays it in. Good ball in. Flicks to the back post to Robertson, who's got a real chance here. Plays the ball in, but to no one. Easily headed out. Jota body positions, and they will get a throw in, it looks like. Sorry. I talked about this in a different video in terms of frustration during games and everything. It's because, you know, again, we do know what these players are capable of. I mean, there have been seasons where we were watching and looking and saying, why is it that we can beat the top teams, but we're constantly dropping to, the lower teams? That's not a knock against Arsenal. What I'm saying is that this is the way in which those teams tended to play us. Jurgen Klopp mouth agape right now trying to figure out why we can't seem to put an 8-yard fucking pass together. There's really no excuse. I mean, not even an attempted long shot. And I don't know that you say that, oh, well, we're really missing Thiago in that department, right? Obviously, here's Saka who's playing to keep it in. You've got literally 2 players that are... Matip somehow skies it out for Arsenal's corner. So, yes, 1 Arsenal player manages to flex our defense into giving away a corner. 4 players. Milner, Fabinho, Robertson, and eventually Matip clear it. Martinelli will take the corner. What I will say is I guarantee you Martinelli gets it past the first man. Allison with the punch. Jota, if he can use some pace, can get around here. He's going to end up fouling. Saka does a good job. He's strong on the ball. And is eventually fouled, excuse me. I know, we're doing our best here. Where's Salah? Are he and Mane just off? No. No, Salah, Mane, and Keita, all 3 are away for AFCON. Keita with Guinea, Salah with Senegal, and Mane with Senegal, and Salah with the Pharaohs and Egypt. So they are gone. So long as I'm assuming they'll get through the group stage, which is through January, then they'll be gone probably through early February. Good God. That was actually a decent ball in from Saka. Falls directly in front of Lacazette. Arsenal still with 10 men are somehow doing a better job with service than we are, which is just fucking stupid, ludicrous. What I will say for Ox is that the man's not afraid to take a long shot. He may fucking put it into the stands. He may do whatever, but he's not afraid to take a shot from distance and can score one on occasion. Minamino's playing fucking 2 feet off of Robertson right now like he's stuck to him like a tick. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. We're just, again, we just want to pass it one direction to the other. And again, the whole idea there is, there you go. Matip at least drove at them. Hendo's going to play it right back to Matip, who should play it to Fabinho's right there in the middle. All right. Firmino does a couple step overs and passes it back. Now it's with Van Dijk. Fuck it, Van Dijk. Take a crack. Nope, he plays it to Minamino, who, as usual, has the touch of a fucking elephant and cannot fucking do shit with it. Out of bounds. Arsenal throw-in. Front three is Taki, Minamino, Firmino, and Jota. Alexander-Arnold is in. He's not having a bad game in general, but apparently his foot is made from one of those circus peanuts, those little fluffy marshmallow circus peanuts. He can't do shit with it. Deflected ball from Milner. Oh, what a light fucking foul, ref. '44th minute. It would appear as though the changes that Arteta made have potentially allowed Arsenal to get to halftime unscathed outside of that red card. Ramsdale with the long kick goes into Lacazette. Milner is dispossessed easily. Lacazette still got the ball on the inside. And it looks like it will be a goal kick to Alisson. He needs to play it quickly, but does not. It's not in our fucking vocabulary anymore. And the sad part is I would not say that it's Arteta's adjustments. I don't think it's Arteta's adjustments that have done anything. We weren't creating before the red, only in the moment of the red card with Granit Xhaka. So great ball from Alexander-Arnold to Firmino, but Ramsdale is wise and up to it. He's going to lay on the ball. And then yell at his players to go up so he can time waste. Looks like we'll have 2 minutes of added time at the half. Once we do get to the half, if you'll give me 3 minutes, I am going to urinate. But I'm going to do it angrily. I mean, it's just the ball's staying in the air more than it's on the ground at this point. Laka with a beautiful fucking ball through, but fortunately Alisson pays attention. Looks like it's going to be called back for a foul. Maybe on Fabinho. Lacazette is bitching. I have no idea. Lacazette's probably, you gave him a red card for kicking him almost in the face, but you won't give him a red card for pulling on my jersey. Meh. Well, you're a shadow of your former self. All right, looks like Saka. Who is this taking the ball here? Oh, decent ball in. Minamino heads it directly down to Arsenal. Minamino has been as fucking helpful as a wet towel after a shower. Robertson beaten way too easily there, but Hendo cleans up. Odd ball back to fucking Matip, it looks like. Liverpool can't apparently clear the ball out, and going to no one out of bounds. If you watch part of the pregame when we were talking about this, and I mentioned Luis Diaz and the 60 mil there and said that that's not something that we would be entertaining in the winter transfer window because we had nothing to fear with our boys being gone to AFCON, I may have been incorrect. No, I do think you'll see Taki make way, and I think Alex Oxlade will come in. That's halftime. It's halftime. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go use the bathroom. As you've seen, I've had about 3 different beverages. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, and then we'll kind of weigh in on the stats of the half. I'll be right back. See, I told you I was going to angry pee. I did. I angry peed, and I got it out real quick. No, I mean, so let's just kind of, I don't know, let's just weigh in on the half. Let's take a quick peek at the stats before I fucking get really pissy. So, all right, Arsenal, obviously, Arsenal down to 10 men. Granit Xhaka with a 24th minute red card. Well deserved. I mean, it was a high foot. Even though for a time they were both looking at the ball, he looks at the man just beforehand, cleaves him right in the chest. Jota did make contact with the ball, so that's why I think it was kind of given there. We did nothing with it, but it doesn't matter. Shots, 4 for Liverpool, 1 for Arsenal, none on target. Both teams have just been absolutely squandering any few chances they've had. 80% possession to Liverpool, 20% to Arsenal. Again, I think this is somewhat indicative of Liverpool's season. Let me actually make sure that's is that legit? This stat is a hoot. 341 passes for Liverpool, 87 passes for Arsenal. Let's see, pass accuracy, 85% for Liverpool. Could have fucking fooled me with 52% passing accuracy to Arsenal. 2 fouls, Liverpool, 5 for Arsenal. And then the big number there, 6 corners, 0 goals. 6 corners of which I think 1 actually made it past the first man. And that's between either Robertson or Trent. And then obviously, Arsenal with 1 corner that I, felt like was probably a bigger chance for them for anything else. I mean, again, I don't know. I think Minamino, for me, he's probably, and I might get some flack for this because I know some people like Minamino. For me, Minamino is the worst signing that Liverpool has had for some time. I think it was I don't know why. I think we purchased him. I know that Klopp seems to like him. Maybe he's a good moral force in training. Maybe he's very good in training. But when it comes to the game, he's easily beaten off the ball. His physicality is just that of a paper mache human. He's just his first touch is fucking trash. I mean, it's absolute trash. I will make a video if somebody wants to challenge me. No, because I'm not going to claim that I'm as good as Minamino. All I'll do is this. I will go outside and let my wife pelt me with fucking soccer balls, and I will get a touch better than Minamino. It's shit. His spatial and tactical awareness are dog crap. I think he slows play up more than anything else. Again, if it were me, I'd swap his ass out real quick for Oxlade-Chamberlain, but I think they're maybe trying to keep that Milner's spot open for that switch, since they tend to like to play Ox in kind of the mid instead of a winger position. But again, I think something's got to give there. Robertson, it's not that he hasn't been given opportunities or space out on the wing. His crossing has been atrocious. I mean, and that's not just this year. I think we can all agree that really we saw both he and Trent see a drop off in their crossing ability halfway through last season. I don't know if it was because of all the defensive woes and just the number of games, but I think we kind of thought like a refresh, kind of an off season would kind of work that. I don't know. Maybe they're being, I don't see a world in which they're telling them to pussyfoot it like 8 feet into an opposition player is all I'm saying. I don't think that's a tactical or strategic thing. Let's see. What can I say for Arsenal? I will say that Saka's pace has certainly been a threat. I think Lacazette has added some pressure. I think it's unfortunate Nketiah had to come off. I thought he looked pretty good. In terms of our team, I think Jota has probably been one of the most energetic. I think Joel Matip has done a great job, especially, it might have been before the red card or after the red card. I think Matip has done a good job of, I think it was before, of kind of handling a 2-on-1 scenario there. But again, that's the hard part. If you ask me for like a standout at this point, it's literally the most vanilla fucking game I've seen us play, which is distressing because when you go down to 10 men, at Anfield, which Chelsea would certainly, understand. When you go down to 10 men at Anfield, I would go as far as to say that even a 1-0 loss for Arsenal would feel like a victory to the Gooners. And that's because I think they feel like if they could take it back to Emirates, they might be able to, twist the narrative. I think when you go down to, to 10 men, I think it's the onus is on Liverpool to fucking end the series here and now. It's to go out and it's to get, 4 goals, just bang them in. And this will be the interesting testament, because this is not a weak team we fielded. This is, aside from the players that aren't available, you're talking, Thiago and Origi. Aside from those players that aren't available, obviously you've got, Curtis Jones. Maybe is he an option today? I think he is. Yeah, you got Curtis Jones, but I mean, he's been kind of meh. You got Cade Gordon, who, hell, I would take Cade Gordon over Takumi Minamino at any point. Yeah, and maybe Semikis comes in and gives you a bit of a different look in terms of, balls into the box. That being said, when you've got Firmino, who is capable of heading, but he tends to take up that, he takes up that false nine kind of deeper inset role. You've got Jota, who does have great aerial ability, and I think Semikis can find him. So if you're talking what changes need to be made, I'd probably bring in, Ox for Minamino and play him up at the winger. I'd probably bring in Semikis for Robertson at some point early into the second half. And then at that point, we would, you'd still have Curtis Jones to come in for Milner if you needed to, or for Henderson if you had to swap out, and you can kind of adjust the positioning from there. But I don't know. I remember when we were watching Chelsea Tottenham on TNT, the Neutral Take, which is my other channel, and I'll link it in the description. When we were watching on there, I was talking about what a snooze fest it was. I think, both teams came out with some intensity. I think that very, very quickly went the way of the dodo. And I think that this should tell FSG, if you're watching, I understand it's you may look at it and say, well, it's the Carabao Cup. I think it should show FSG, if they're watching, what we look like. I mean, what we look like when we're devoid of 3 players. When we're devoid of those players, I just don't see it. I mean, we just don't have so much going forward. We're so very, very thin. And honestly, I was eye-rolling the depth comment 3 seasons ago. I think a lot of fans were eye-rolling the depth comment 3 seasons ago, because that's when they were talking about, look at your depth with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. And again, I'm not trying to shit on Ox. I'm actually advocating for him to come into this game. But I do think that he is a substitute player all day long. And, you look at Keita and you look at Thiago, who probably average, 4 games played for every 3 weeks they're out. It's a problem. I mean, it's definitely a problem, and I think that I think we got to do something here. But let's see where we're at on this one. Can we go live and see? All right, so we're live there, so we're still here. Let's check out any other potential news. Let's see if AFCON's got anything going on right now, since we've kind of already beat the dead horse on that one. The only thing I can say is that Liverpool needs to come out in the second half. We need to just absolutely wreck these people. So currently, Burkina Faso is beating Cape Verde. Mali took the win over Tunisia yesterday, even with a red card. Gambia beat Mauritania today. The Ivory Coast, or Cote d'Ivoire, beat Equatorial Guinea. Cameroon beat the shit out of Ethiopia. And Senegal will play Guinea tomorrow, so that'll be Sadio Mane taking on fellow teammate Naby Keita. Naby Keita, who won the Man of the Match award in their first game against Malawi. And I believe that Sadio Mane actually won the Man of the Match award in Senegal versus Zimbabwe. So the Super Eagles, Nigeria, beat the Pharaohs of Egypt. Egypt will play Guinea-Bissau. Let me look here, actually. Yeah. So who knows? We'll see how that goes. Let's check out the. This is always a hoot for me. I like going. Let's. Of course, it's not gonna let me log in, but let's just try it anyway. Yeah, we'll give it a whirl and see what we got. Where's our confidence? I have no idea. I have no idea because again, this is the type of team that I think if you had brought in that team that some of the team that had taken out. Oh shit, was it Villa? Yeah. No. Yeah, was it Villa? Yeah. I think if you brought in some of the team that had taken out Villa in the last round, I think you would have. We didn't play Villa in the last. I'll have to look back, but if you brought them in, I think you would have seen a bit more of a fight from that standpoint. So, who knows? Let's go and let's just take a quick peek and see what everybody's saying here. I think some people are going to be kind of happy with where they're at. I like going to read in some of the comments. One says, I really don't see how Xhaka can stay at the club anymore. Well done to the remaining players fighting hard. Again, I mean, Xhaka, I think, has been a problem for the team for some time. I think he's got passion. I just don't know that it's well spent. Tends to lead to stuff. Somebody said, as soon as Xhaka got a red card, I stopped watching. Well, you're a plastic fucking fan for Arsenal then, because they could very well stay in it. And just lots of people screaming about signings. Liverpool is overplaying us. No shit, but to what end? All right, so Arsenal's page is a bit boring at the moment. They're not fuming enough, and that's because we haven't done anything to them in terms of bombing goals past them. See if we've got anything on Liverpool's page. I'm going to assume that there's a fair amount of anger. Could just be me. First individual, Charlie says, boring so far. We have zero cutting edge, just sideways, backwards, sideways, safe play all the time. Thank you. That's what we've been talking about. Just constant recycling, very poor going forward. No single shot on target against 10-man Arsenal. Midfield was selected to defend when we should be trying to win this first leg. Midfield's dead. Matip, in fact, looks far more creative than anyone else. I don't know why Klopp looks surprised. He picked that midfield knowing very well we don't have our usual front three. Minamino, Firmino, and Jota are just busybodies in front of goal. I would disagree that Jota and Firmino are that way, but I mean, again, I think they're kind of being pulled into those positions, especially with the midfield. Why is it so hard to shoot? Couldn't agree more. Have no idea. Just kick the ball towards the goalkeeper of Arsenal. We need Chamberlain. Failing to see where a goal is going to come from. Oh, this is a hoot. This fucking idiot. Why benching Mane and Mo? Klopp must go. Go fuck yourself and maybe just, I don't know, find a different team. I hear Stoke could use some fans. If we can't edge out Arsenal here at Anfield, they'll beat us out of the cup at Emirates. I mean, I tend to agree, so. All right, so it looks like we're about to get started back with the second half. I'm going to hit start on this. I always tend to fuck up this clock for some reason, so we're going to hit start on that and see if it'll come in at the 45th minute and start from there. Mini-me, meaning Mikel Arteta, is sitting there. Wonder if he found out that Pep got some new shoes this past weekend. Probably went out and bought the same pair. Little pansy. All right, I don't know if I don't see if it does not appear as though we made any changes as of yet. Which again, Klopp's not really one to do that. All right, let's see if we can begin the second half. All right, we're underway, and I didn't F the clock up this time, hopefully. Yeah, looks good. Awesome. Sweet. Perfect. Haven't had to do anything as it relates to the goal. 0-0. 45th minute. Here we're underway. I'm gonna check back real quick because I don't think we made any changes. Let me see. Nope. No changes. Matip is attempting to chase a wayward ball all the way out of bounds. Klopp looks insanely confused as to how bad we are. It's because they all have multiple left feet. All right, so it'll be an Arsenal throw-in with 10 men. Throw-in is returned by Matip back to where it came from, and it will be another throw-in. Dog shit. Matip back on it again with a header. Henderson with kind of an odd clearance. It's headed in. Lacazette's on it. It's footed up. Looks like Minamino's on it. He needs to stay strong on this. Can he get the ball through to anybody? He's driving. Decent ball in. Ooh, Minamino actually with a fairly decent one. Almost made me look stupid. But it still ended up going just wide and over. I don't think it took a touch. So that'll be out for a goal kick. I drank way too much that last half. I have to pee again already. Nope. I think Ramsdale was beaten as well because he didn't get the touch on it. Decent ball in. Firmino is not quite up for the header. Ramsdale off his chest. Looks like Jota's going to press him, but Ramsdale gets the ball off first. Trent Alexander-Arnold out on the outside. He's got some runners. Henderson plays the ball to Henderson. Gets the ball back to Trent, who's going to cycle it back to the middle, who's probably going to cycle it around to Robertson. No, he's going to try to cycle it back to Trent, who plays it to Fabinho. Don't play it out, play it centrally. Ball's in, and it's easily dealt with. Matip takes a shot and kills someone in the 48th fucking row. Okay, well, you know what? I said somebody needed to take a shot from a distance, so Matip, thank you. Thank you. If you're tuning in, Arsenal are down to 10 men. Liverpool currently tied 0-0, 48th minute of this first leg, the postponed first leg of the Carabao Cup, which is being played at Anfield. You're joining two viewers, both of whom I believe consist of my spouse and probably my mother. So welcome as we try to build this channel into something. And I appreciate you tuning in. Long ball from Gabriel. Van Dijk steps in, but the ball's played through. Saka is on his own. Matip steps in, gets a nice deflection and a necessary one. Robertson plays the long ball directly back to Arsenal. Arsenal, you'd never know. We're down to 10 men. Saka playing the ball. Gets the ball past three Liverpool players who plays it back out, and they start to cycle. He plays a long ball out wide. Jota steps in, kind of deflects the ball out, but Gabriel will get back to that. It's just casual. Casual is what it is. The play is just far too casual. Far too casual for a game of this caliber. I mean, again, everybody's going to sit there and a lot are going to say it's Carabao Cup. It doesn't matter. Every time you put on the shirt, get out there and give your fucking effort, clean it up, and get it done. Firmino has the ball, plays it back. Probably going to go through to Fabinho, who should take a shot, but he gets dispossessed easily by Lacazette. No. Now, Trent does cut in there. I think he gets really fortunate because I think if Lacazette goes on the outside of Trent, I think they're away with it. So in that instance, good job, Trent. Kirsten in the chat says, "Come on, Reds, absolutely. If we can fucking make something happen." Henderson loses the ball like he's never seen one. Goes to Lacazette. Milner comes in, grabs it. Matip with the first searching ball in. Henderson. Going to play it out to Trent for the 948th time. He's going to play it back to Hendo. Ando plays a decent ball into Milner. Milner's got to do something with it. What's going on there? Was offsides? Not sure. Looks like it's going to go out for a goal kick, though. All right, I'll be back. Don't let anything happen while I'm gone. All right, thanks for the patience there. Sorry I had to urinate again, and I also had to make sure my AC didn't turn on, because if it does, it'll actually blow the green screen all over the place, and I'll be exposed. All right, so it looks like Arsenal continue to have the majority of the attacking opportunities. That'll go out for a Liverpool goal kick. Arteta is just all sorts of stoked. Great job, guys. Great job, guys. If anybody sees Pep, can you text him and ask him what he thinks of me? Am I doing okay, Pep? I just hope he gets in a fight with Klopp again, because I know Klopp beat his ass. All right, come on, boys. Pace. Move the fucking ball. And you even got Matip, who's sitting there saying, play the fucking ball. They're running centrally. Play the ball. Milner fucking overplays it directly back to Lacazette. I mean, again, at this point, it's as if they're not down to 10 men. Matip, clearly my man of the match at the moment, as he bosses right there. Trent, Alexander-Arnold, Firmino on it. We've got to get the ball up faster. But every single fucking time, we're letting Arsenal reset. Go ahead, Matip. Fucking move it. Go in. There you go. There you go. Milner with a shot deflection, because, again, you allow them to reset, so they've got fucking 18,000 defenders in the way. Henderson from the outside is going to play up to Trent. He might get him on the overlap. He doesn't. Give it to Firmino. Firmino needs to drive. Gets an over ball. Yeah, there you go. Henderson's on it. Henderson plays it in. Jota can't quite get to it. I don't think he would have had any pace on that ball anyway. He was leaning back. Allison is quite literally 10 yards. No, I'm joking. He's 15 yards away from the midline when he takes possession of that ball. Come on, Matip. Drive. Drive. Matip plays a good ball through to Jota. Jota cannot seem to handle it because he's got 3 gunners all around him. Matip has single-handedly been our best attacking player and defender. I've literally never seen a team pass the ball so slow, just oh, here we go. You know? Don't waste our energy. We got stuff to do. Minamino's well ahead of that ball, and he knows it. Trent's got the ball back. Henderson plays it 8,000 yards back to Allison so that we can allow them to continue to reset. Again, the concept of resetting is so that you can pull their shape out, but you don't move the ball fast enough to flex that shape. The only person that's moving is Lacazette, and on occasion, Saka with his pace so that he can catch up and offer some sort of option. Fucking ridiculous. That would have been a great over the top. Nah, Minamino It's over the top directly into the hands of... It was not a bad run by Minamino, but again, spatially, just too tight. Ramsdale had it. You're going to bring in Curtis Jones. That's your creator. Well, if he's bringing him in, it's got to be for Milner. Well, or Hendo. I mean, they've both been equally shit. Okay, Robertson takes one off the ass. Gives it directly to Saka, who spins him. Saka's fouled. It'll be a free kick. 56th minute. Anything less than a 2-goal victory for Liverpool here should be viewed as a loss. And that's strictly because, you know, I think Arsenal will have seen they'll be back up to strength, you know, at Emirates. And I talked a lot of shit about Arsenal this week, so we've got to come through and make it happen. Reds defending a corner or a free kick here, excuse me. Pay attention. Good ball in. Allison punches that. Kind of feels like he could have caught that. But fuck it, whatever. Get it out. Out for an Arsenal throw in. Arsenal fans are in voice. I don't have it turned up loud enough. I probably need an earbud in. I don't have it turned up loud enough to know if Anfield's giving what they need to, but I'm telling you what, man, they got to step up. 12th man's got to do fucking something. Minamino's way too far off that. I don't give a shit how well fucking Firmino hits that Minamino. You're not getting that ball. You're far too advanced. Robertson gets it. Move the fucking ball. Come on. Henderson, play it up. Trent, get the fucking ball up. There you go. One more. One more. Fucking right into his feet. Fucking dudes are gonna back heel balls to one another in the fucking 18 all day long. Well, only half of them work, but they'll back heel it, but they can't make a simple fucking 4-foot pass work. It's just it's mind-boggling. People are gonna give stick too because they're gonna say we're third. Look, we've been papering over cracks for a very fucking long time. First it was, oh, you know, our guys are, you know, injured this one season, but even when we won the league, you saw towards the tail end of that league, you saw us just turn to shit. Jota's got it. He can maybe possess here, but he can't. I would say Jota, he's a good poacher of the ball. He can make some things happen. He is a terrible fucking passer. And occasionally he can dribble like he's got some sense, but again, he needs somebody creating for him, and that's just a position that we lack. Firmino's charging to the center. Gets a decent ball off to Minamino. Minamino strikes the ball directly into a defender's face. A decent ball in this time. Fabinho gets it rejected. Matip goes in. It's not a foul on that, so if Allison doesn't get to that, or Allison's going to try to get to it. Looks like Arteta's getting all pissed because he's thinking that the ball came off of Allison instead of Saka. Matip's appealing for a foul. I mean, that's definitely a foul. I can't... I really couldn't see what he got first, though. Nah, I don't know. I don't know you're getting that any day anyway. Matip's very animated. Curtis Jones comes on to take off James Milner. Not really the first swap I would make, but it's one of the ones that I figured we'd probably do. Matip to Trent. That was a great run by Firmino, but we didn't do shit with it. Ball comes back. Fabinho plays it in. Minamino off his head maybe, or was that Curtis? I think it was Curtis Jones. All right, so it'll be a throw in for Liverpool. Just remember watching in the stadium too, watching us sit. Oh my God, Trent just plays the ball directly to it. I mean, something's got to happen. You got to take him off. You got to put Nico in or something because Trent is just off. I mean, he's fucking off. It's ridiculous. But no, I remember. I just remember against Shrewsbury. I remember seeing us with that lead, but the stadium was just fucking quiet. Just absolutely quiet in the 70th minute because I think we as the fans are fucking just nervous. I mean, the consistency is shit. Hendo with a decent run there, but the ball's played out. Goes to Lacazette, who can free up Saka here, but Trent gets it back. This is your moment. Play it through. Hendo can't get to it. It's a good defensive save by Gabriel. Minamino, somewhat physical there. Loses out again. I mean, it's frantic, but again, I don't think that I have literally seen any team, try to constantly recycle and do the same thing over and over again for as many games as we have. And then to be such a prolific team. Take the shot. Attempts the shot. Tierney clears it. Allison is all the way out. And it's going to go out for a throw-in. Allison throws it into Matip, but needs to scoot the fuck back over. Looks like Firmino took a hand to the face by White over there. Not sure I like that. Jota boxes a man out, but overplays it. Cedric manages to maintain. Saka can't get it past, but we continue to play back to Arsenal. All right, now the stands and fans are starting to get into it a bit. Fabinho and Robertson can't connect. It'll go out for an Arsenal throw-in. The shitty part of this game would be to fucking leave and have to go and literally look at Arsenal's page. Not that we should give a shit at what they have to say, but that we would go to Arsenal's page and see that they felt like they eked out a victory, a fucking draw or a victory, rather than it simply being Liverpool's inability to make something happen when they're in an advantageous position. Martinelli goes down like a bitch as usual. Take about 20 minutes to get up. And what's with the medieval times fucking font on the back of those kits? I mean, I would expect nothing less from Arsenal, but geez. And in support of the Blue Knight, and in support of the Red Knight, bring me my flag and wench. I'm kidding. I'm very respectful of my wife. All right, Curtis Jones has it. If he can make something happen here, he can't. He can't even get the ball away. He gets surrounded, but it looks like it'll be a foul. Quick free kick taken, but I think it's gonna have to go back. Is anyone out there or I am alone? Matip with a decent ball out to the outside. Trent back to Henderson, who kind of overplays it. Goes to Firmino. Little do-si-do, nothing too crazy. Trent tries to put the ball and gives it away to Lacazette yet again. Now he has to get back defensively. Hopefully he doesn't make a reckless challenge here. Lacazette kind of pulls it back. And he plays it back. Again, Arsenal getting possession solely off of just fucking poor passing. Allison comes out, clears the ball directly up and out of bounds for a throw-in. Again, I don't know what quality there is out there. I don't for us to bring in, but Klopp needs to do something. You got to do something. Curtis Jones is not the impact sub that's coming in to change this. I told my wife I should have worn Tangerine Dream. You know, the hideously neon orange kits from a few years back. I've got that and the New Balance custom shoe that I should have worn that. I mean, I really should have. Come on! Curtis Jones almost gets it. Play it back up. Minamino can't fucking get to it. We're slipping and sliding everywhere. Fabinho's got it. Tries to play a long ball up. Can seem to get it to Curtis Jones, who's fighting off. Plays the ball back. Gets it to Robertson. Robertson needs to get it in. Minamino on it. Minamino a cross shot, but it goes out of bounds. Was it saved? I don't think it was touched. I think it's going out for a goal kick. Yeah, nobody touches it, and Jota's just not in position to take advantage of it. Are we at the 7th minute? What the fuck? Why would it go to the 7th minute? Let me fix this. Oh. It's doing it based on hours. Stupid. It's doing it based on hours, so this time I'll go ahead and let you know that it is not. It is the 67th minute. 67:53. That's why it has become the 8th minute. Which I guess that's how some. I mean, I guess that's how some of the streamers show the second half is just restarting the 45-minute clock. We're still recycling it. They're going to continue to move. I mean, again, at this point, I mean, everything we're doing is very transparent. Virgil, instead of playing a pass on the ground, decides to lift it 6 feet. All right, Fabinho gets it to Jones. Jones looks like he might do something with it. Can he play something in? He does. Plays it to Henderson, who lobs a ball, and Minamino tries. Oh, Fabinho. Oh, my God. Fabinho ended up playing it to Firmino. Firmino ends up getting a header to Jota, but I think he was actually offsides. He is. He's offsides. No, he's not. Yes, the entire team's offsides. It doesn't matter. Fuck. All right, so now we've dropped to 0 viewers. Looks like we're killing it. James Milner has a bag of ice to his head, so maybe he took a knock there. I hate that. He's also looking around awkwardly, so he might be Batman at the moment. I mean, again, we're going 70th minute without an additional change. I mean, again, I just don't see a world in which you don't buy players because Curtis Jones is your impact sub. I know that some of our players are gone. Some are injured, but again... '70th minute. Score is still 0-0. Let's even look at the stats. I mean, I'm sure... Let's see if those have actually changed for... Yeah, so, I mean, possession's only changed about 2%. Accuracy's about the same. There you go. Taki plays it into space to nobody, so Ramsdale can come out and collect. Henderson appeared to press it first and then backed off. Ooh, looks like Arsenal's going to pick the ball up, but it's overplayed by Saka. Looks like Firmino managed to get a foot on the ball there, but it's still back to Arsenal. Nobody's pressing from that side. Trent's going to try to take on Tierney. Goes back to Martinelli, I think. It's saying 10 minutes, 56 seconds, but that's because, again, it's running it as an hour, 10 minutes and 59 seconds. Holy shit, Saka's right on it. Allison with a save. Could have literally allowed a 10-man Arsenal to go up 1-0. Move the fucking ball. Jota easily defeated. Nobody's there. They're going to give the foul because he was blocked off, but there's no way he's getting to that shit anyway. So that's a yellow card to Gabriel. I mean, again, it's just a 10-man Arsenal with almost dick all possession, getting something almost out of nowhere. Let's see who was caught out here. Van Dijk just overruns it slightly. Robertson's on the outside of Saka. I mean, it's a great save by Alisson, who stepped up. No, you've not missed anything, Kirsten. It is still 0-0. The only thing you missed was the Arsenal's attempt on goal there for a second that Alisson saved. Trent plays the ball in. It's flicked and out. Hard to see. It looks like it's going to go for another corner, so it's going to be the seventh corner. Seventh corner of the match. Can we beat the first man? Should there be a poll and a giveaway if we beat the first man? I have no idea. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that we're not going to beat the first man on that one. If we play it short, I'm going to lose my fucking shit. I'm not talking about... I mean, if we play it short anyway, I'm going to lose my shit. But if we play it short, I'm going to lose my mind. It goes in. Ball's on the back. Matip's there. Henderson attempts a volley for no fucking reason. Misses it. And now Martinelli, who's got way more pace than Henderson, even though Henderson somehow is keeping up. Martinelli plays it. Saka's there. Robertson's in the right position. So Arsenal definitely giving it everything they've got. It's going to go out and be thrown in. Arteta, of course, is going to throw a bitch fit, as is Tierney, about whose ball it is. Arteta's still screaming in his 2022 fitted puffer. Stylish and fashionable as always. Ball's out to Van Dijk. Let's see if Liverpool will recycle the ball back and forth 17 more times without actually playing the ball centrally. Take it to him. Drive towards the man. Minamino and Curtis Jones not necessarily on the same page there. Comes back. We're going to play it more centrally. Matip's there. He's got fucking acres of space. He's going to play it out to Trent. Trent has an interesting little touch. Goes to Jota, who apparently is not going to take anybody on this entire game. Takes it over to Trent, but that's offsides. Clear as fucking day. And yet again, it's going to be a kick. This is absolutely fucking atrocious. Finally, it looks as if we're going to bring in... Yeah, it looks like we're going to bring in Nico Williams to replace Trent, as we should have. Looks like, I believe, Ox is going to come in. I'm fucking hoping it's to replace Minamino. And even Joe Gomez, which shows an air of desperation, no offense, to Gomez. I mean, this definitely looks like... I don't know. I mean, again, Williams has got to be able to, you know, pass a little bit better than Trent. I don't know what the fuck Trent's doing. Oh shit, Gabriel with a miscue, but it's covered nicely. It'll be a throw in for Liverpool. All right, so Liverpool to make a triple substitution. Looks like Fabinho's coming out for Oxlade. Okay. Then you're pulling Matip for Gomez. Matip, who's been your best defender. And then Nico for Trent. Okay, so I am fucking baffled that you're going to take Fabinho. Looks like we're moving to a 3. Nico and Robertson are going to play much higher. Maybe? I don't even know what the fuck we're... No, because you're going to use Gomez as your third back. Nico mishandles it almost right away, but it's a tough ball anyway. Goes out for an Arsenal goal kick. So, I mean, it just looks like we're going to go 3 back. Minamino and Saka are talking to each other about shared injuries, I guess. Here's what blows my mind. The fact that Minamino even stays in this fucking game. I just don't. Okay. Klopp's talking to Henderson, probably saying, I don't know, hey guys, when you do that shit where you pass but it doesn't get there and it's like really close, don't do that. Also, maybe move the ball better into central spaces, maybe challenge defenders. Jurgen Klopp's lookalike who's also there, is handing out water. Probably saying also, don't do that. Pep Lenders, I'm sure he's getting in with some quality advice. So if you pull Fabinho, Milner's no longer there. You bring in Gomez, I guess, to replace Matip, so that you've got Van Dijk and Gomez as your center backs. You got Nico. I don't think you're going to push Nico all the way up. You've now lost that your CDM. I guess you shift Henderson into that role, and so I guess you're hoping that Ox and Curtis can get it done. I don't know. Who else is... I mean, arguably everybody that you could bring in is in at this point. You know, but again, I still felt like... I don't know about the Matip decision. Unless he's fucking injured, I'm bringing Tsimikas in for Robertson all day as a difference there, so that if you're refreshing Nico, or Trent, you're refreshing. Nico's up. Come on, handle that. Nico's got some pace to it. It's going to go out for a throw in. '78th minute is what we're rolling into, despite the clock saying 17:58. That's an hour and 17 minutes, 58 seconds. Minamino plays a decent ball in. Was that a handball? No. Wasn't. Robertson's trying to figure out where this is going to come down. And he's going to let it go for a goal kick. I'm going to have to figure this clock out next time because I don't like its format. I had it drop down to just minutes and seconds so that it wouldn't do that, and it appears to not be listening to me, despite using custom formats. All right, Nico Williams on the ball, plays it to Jota. Jota plays it back to Joe Gomez. It's to Van Dijk, who's going to play it, a very bouncy ball, over to Minamino, or Curtis Jones, excuse me. Curtis Jones worked across the top. Hendo with a shot, but it is always an ever rising. Leaning back. Just going to be going into the 80th minute here. Let's go in here real quick. Yeah. 10 shots for Liverpool, 0 on target. Should tell you something. 3 for Arsenal, 1 on target. 77% possession at 23% in favor of Liverpool. 571 passes in favor of Liverpool to 173 for Arsenal. 85% passing accuracy. Again, that's because we're just passing to ourselves over and over. Looks like Saka may be coming out when he suffered that injury that Minamino was talking about. But no, I don't think so, because Tavares was warming up well before, so I think this is more of a planned. Again, Arsenal leave here with a 0-0. That's a win. That's a win for them in their book all day. They will happily go back to Emirates to take us on in the second leg. And really, this is all they have to play for, aside from maybe trying to get a top 4 position. Right now, we're literally just heading and lobbing the ball back and forth. Nico Williams with a lob to nowhere. It's going to go out of bounds for an Arsenal throw-in. Probably one of the most wasteful performances I've seen from Liverpool so far in about a season and a half. I don't even expect our academy teams to play this bad. Good communication, at least, between Gomez and Alisson there. Alisson plays the ball quickly out to Robertson, who's got to do something with it and get the ball up. Curtis Jones is on it on the outside. They've got to do something with it and don't slow the fucking play up. He plays it over. Robertson's got it. Can he pull it back? Get the ball into the box. He plays it out. Ox will take a shot from distance, also ever rising. I've not been to the training facility. I'm just wondering if the goals are twice the size there. Is that a motivational thing? Liverpool fans, everyone seems to have the shared kind of meh face going on around the park. If I lived there, I already spend money on Liverpool through merchandise, through setting up this stream, through everything else. If I spent money to go to this game and to go to these stadiums and to travel, and really at this time to risk myself to watch these players, I would be fuming. Chamberlain with a very odd and abysmal cross when there were far easier passes. This is what I will say as well, because I've commented at this point, it's just getting stupid. While we have continued to play the constant recycle game for more than a year now, several years now, against any team that is forced back into a defensive shell and wants to kind of counterattack, while we have done that, we have consistently made it far more difficult on ourselves. We tried the flourish. We tried to do the back heel in the moment. We tried to do, an additional step over. We try to do the lofted ball. Just the simple passes. I mean, that's one of the things that upsets me the most when people talk about how poor Firmino has been in terms of his form. Really need Jones to fight for it here. It's a good job with White. I think it was White, or no, it's Cedric, excuse me, for Arsenal. But when you see the runs that he makes, that we simply don't play. When you see the runs Jota makes, even with Mane and with Salah when they're in, when you see the runs that they're making off the ball, these are opportunities. Nico Williams with a good cut to the byline. It goes in, but directly to the goalkeeper, grabs it. And, of course, as usual, he is going to go into the fetal position as we approach the 84th minute. Joe Gomez handles it back in the keeper's area. He's going to play it across to Van Dijk. For such a I mean, honestly, again, there, great ball. Curtis Jones, but he's just not quick enough to get to it. I mean, he plays the ball around the defender, which we don't do enough of. It's going to come back to Gomez, who's going to play it directly across to Henderson, who's going to play it yet again to Curtis. Curtis is going to take it back, plays the ball in. Jota got clear on it, but couldn't do anything with it because he played it directly back. I think Jota, in this one instance, should have been a bit more selfish, should have headed it down to himself and played it past Ramsdale. Instead, he tries to head it back, I think, to Firmino. There are three Arsenal players in the way. Firmino can't quite handle it, and Ramsdale is there to grab it. Little glimmer, little glimpse, but still nothing. Ugh, God almighty. Now, if I'm, and you can just see it now, I can see these scoundrels on the AFTV page, because they made 4 or 5 videos out of this whole COVID postponement. I know that what they're going to do is try to manipulate the situation and say that even though they tried to exploit, we still managed to do yada, yada, yada. Shut the fuck up. We need to get it done. And really the excuse is other teams are finding ways to get it done. Other teams are having difficulties, but they're trying something new. It's inexcusable, in my opinion, that this would be the second game in a season where they've gone down to 10 men and we can't make something happen. Nico with the ball in. Just beaten to it. Henderson steps in. Gomez plays a good ball back. Henderson's on it. Again, just too easy. If Gomez doesn't get there, then they're away with it. Van Dijk plays it off. 86th minute. So far, I don't think there's a lot to do for injury time. Ball goes out of play. Nico Williams can't keep it in. 12 shots for Liverpool, 0 on goal. Now, normally you can make an argument for Klopp. Normally you can make an argument for this position. Normally what you'll see is 23 shots, 7 on target, and you'll say, okay, well, the players just didn't put away their chances. And then there were a few minor opportunities, but I'm not going to disrespect Arsenal and say that we've done anything. That we've done anything to truly, make them clench ass on this. I mean, I think, if anything, the opportunity that Saka had was the only ass-clenching moment here. So again, in that scenario, nine times out of 10, you can say the players have to be better. And the same can be said for this game. They really have to be. They're not being creative enough. But at a certain point, we also have to question, maybe the stubbornness of certain actions. Nico Williams with a good ball in. Gabriel fucking plays it off of Firmino, but it goes right into the hands of Ramsdale. Yeah, again, Nico plays a ball in there, and when the ball is played in, you see 5 Arsenal players there, and there's about a good 6 to 8 foot separation. Maybe it's social distancing. Maybe that's what I'm missing. Maybe that's what I'm missing. Should go out for a goal kick here. We are headed to the 89th minute, people. 89th minute. "13 shots by Liverpool, 0 on target. Arsenal down to 10 men. One of the most lackluster displays that I've seen. Not to say that we're not burning effort here. That's the sad part. I think we are burning energy and effort that'll be better spent in other games. We are certainly burning effort, but the quality is just down. It's everything. From the first touch, the short pass, we just need to make something happen. Someone has to step up. Henderson receives the ball back. He's going to play it across to Joe Gomez. Oxlade-Chamberlain's asking for a ball in space. Nico Williams is going to play it to Oxlade. Oxlade chips it. Ramsdale. Oh, it's a fuck up. Oh my gosh. Ramsdale ran into his own player, and Takumi Minamino with a fucking sitter puts it up at an angle that only Maxi Rodriguez could appreciate. Puts it up 90 degrees in the fucking air. It's a fucking open goal. Off of error and miscommunication, and Takumi Minamino cannot put the fucking ball in. Game, set, match on Takumi Minamino. Sell him off. Get rid of him. If FSG's policy is going to be sell to buy, get rid of him. Oxlade-Chamberlain here. Plays a good ball off to Jota. Jota plays it back through directly to a defender. All that effort wasted for nothing. Nico Williams working hard on the outside. He'll try to keep the ball in. Probably play it back to Jota at this point. Look, you can sit there and say that that Mo Salah missed a sitter and everything else. Again, he has, but the man's burying goals over and over and over again. Minamino's done nothing. Good ball in from Nico Williams. Nobody can get ahead on it. 90th minute. We got plus 5 minutes of stoppage time, which I think we're fortunate to get. I think that just, in a sense, favors us and our opportunities. Good ball in. Curtis Jones. Play it one more. Curtis Jones goes down to the box, I think, too easily, but then he's pushed down. I think because he goes for the ball. Never going to get that call. Liverpool hold on to it. Get it to the center. Joe Gomez. Let's just hold on to it. Allows Arsenal to reset yet again. Back to Virgil van Dijk. Ball's played through to Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones with a shot. Saved by Ramsdale. Never really stressed him. Lacazette plays it back to himself. Minamino and all 4 feet of his tininess goes for it. Obviously, Arsenal's throwing themselves down. It appears as though we can't even settle the ball. So it's going to go Out of bounds again. If you weren't afraid of the fact that Salah, Keita, and Mane being gone would be a problem, be very afraid. Be very, very afraid. And that's for Keita, a player who only really comes in every once in a while. Thiago's out, obviously, Origi. Come on, Robertson. Robertson serves a shit ball in, but it'll go in for yet another corner. Now, as much as a fan, I want to believe, and I do believe, this will be our 8th corner. Can we beat the first fucking man? Can we keep it away from Ramsdale? And can we have a fucking Anfield night and bury this shit? Cannot beat the first man yet again. Directly to Lacazette. Goes in for a throw-in. Why are they still taking the corners? Ball's in. Van Dijk gets handled. Nico needs to get the ball in. The only reason I'm not slamming the fuck out of my desk right now is because my mic is attached to it. Really needs to be attached over here. Otherwise, it's going to shake that, shake the camera, shake everything else. I'm about to lose it. Going on the 3rd minute. Cycle to Curtis Jones. Got to be quick with it. Go back, go back, go back. Ball's kept in. Arsenal will play that out. Looks like it'll go for... No, Robertson fights for it. Looks like it's still going to be an Arsenal throw-in. At the end of the day... Look at Ramsdale. He's got dirt all over him and shit. He's going to act like he's just been, powering through, there. I don't know if I'm Virgil, I'm maybe sticking my face in to get punched in the face. I don't know anything at this point. 93rd minute. Arsenal's just fucking playing it out from the back at this point. I mean, this is just a shittier version of the Chelsea game from previous in the season. I mean, this is like we're so fucking vanilla at this point. And the sad part is I have actually been arguing. Van Dijk, get up. I mean, you're embarrassing us at this point. Not just for that. I mean, hell, Van Dijk's staying up. I mean, he's just up at this point. But don't go back to back and embarrass us. That's all we need is somebody fucking claiming we're a bunch of pussies. All right, good ball in. Van Dijk can't fucking beat the header over it. Minamino plays a floater. Firmino, does he keep it in? No, because he's fucking offsides. And was offsides. It's the 4th minute. And it looks like we are 45 seconds away from drawing a 10-man Arsenal at fucking home in the Carabao Cup to give them potentially an advantage in the second leg. And God only knows as it goes towards the upcoming Premier League fixtures. I did say that all we had to do was put pressure on Man City by winning to potentially force them to lose some points. At this point, we would be lucky to take on Middlesbrough in the next stage of the FA Cup. Arsenal is going to settle this. Expectation is that the whistle will be blown here soon. Van Dijk on it. No sense of urgency. Oh, and now Oxlade-Chamberlain decides to take a long shot at the very, very end. Arsenal players fall to their legs and fall to their knees. They kept him out. They stopped the mighty Reds. Takumi Minamino winces on the field. Doesn't matter. Please return your salary and see your fucking way out. I don't want to be this guy. I don't want to be this guy. I don't. But I came into this game naive, perhaps, after, watching this team for 15, 16 years. Naive, perhaps. I came in saying, you don't always have to spend your way out of it. That's what I came into this way saying. I did come into this game saying that our depth was dog shit compared to... some of the other top teams, and I and everyone else have been saying that this is abysmal. You can't beat 10 men at Anfield. And in fact, not only can you not beat those, but arguably the actual best chance, because again, we got shit contact on the ball with Minamino. The best chance of the game comes from Arsenal on an odd bounce counter with Saka, and it required Alisson to save it. However AFTV decides to spin it, however they say, whatever is said, it's fucking well-deserved at this point. I appreciate the 2 viewers that tuned in. If I get additional viewers as a result of y'all watching, this is the very first live watch-along. Appreciate everybody sticking with me and tuning in. I am going to do a follow-up. I am going to do a follow-up video, a post-match reaction to this. I am going to go down and get some coffee because I'm about to wreck my throat on that. And, wow, just a shit showing. And again, I don't know that any of us would have given I think some of us would have been disappointed given the Carabao Cup. Arsenal fans, look at them, just smiling. This is just a victory for them away, a victory. And I don't know. I need to see something from Klopp. I need to see something from Klopp at the end. I need, instead of just, we had some missed chances and just, the boys tried and blah, blah, blah. No, there needs to be some ass kicking. That's it. It just doesn't make any sense. There's got to be a spend. It's one thing to go through a winter transfer window and not make a move. People go, maybe some of the players that we wanted weren't available, or it wasn't at the right price, or don't panic because we're going to get, Salah, and Mane and Keita back. Thiago will come back, to fitness for at least fucking 3 games, and then Origi will come back fit. I can tell you all day, if you're fucking trying to figure out, and again, I understand that Minamino will sometimes play in a wide position. We've put Origi in a wide position. What I will tell you is, even with his few showings, there's no way that you keep a Minamino on the team, that you don't sell him, but you let an Origi go. Okay, I understand he's injured right now, but I do not feel like Minamino in any of his appearances. I don't give a shit if he fucking scores a couple goals, hand it on a platter to him right across the face of goal. I'm fucking pissed, and I don't want to see him in our kit again. Now, unfortunately, I don't think we see a way out of it for the next however many games to the end of AFCON. What in the fuck is coming after us here in the next bit? Let's just check it out real quick. Let's see, we got Brentford, who normally would pose no problem, but God fucking help us. That's Lord help us, excuse me. That's on this Sunday, and we will do a live for that one. We've got the second round against Arsenal, which again, they'll go into that at home feeling as though they've won the first leg, so we'll be hard-pressed on that. We got Crystal Palace away. We'll have, it's Cardiff City. Middlesbrough is not us for the 4th round. It's Cardiff City. Again, they've been defensively, but Lord only knows with us. Then we've got Leicester, who already somehow, it was the miracle at Leicester and fucking drawing us last time. Beating us, excuse me. So God help us there. And then we've got Burnley. And it's about by the time we get through Burnley that we might see our front 3 back before we go and take on Inter. So this is going to be bumpy. This is going to be bumpy, people. I appreciate you tuning in. Please, again, drop your comments. Where do you think it went wrong? Do you think we're wrong to not spend in the winter transfer? Do you think, again, I don't really want to go too much into FSG because I've got another video planned where we kind of go into all of that. But again, do you think FSG, did we give them a pass last because of the pandemic, because of player injuries and trying to see if everybody came back? So do we go hard at them? Clearly they're responsive to a fucking angry fan base. Is that what we need to do? Is just get angry? I don't want to go there because I think we have some great stewards of the club, but I also think that there are people that just do not belong in this lineup. They're not good enough and they've got to go. So stick around maybe for the post-match. It'll be here probably the next 15, 20 minutes or so. I'll also do that live, and then, we'll just see from there. But I do appreciate those that tuned in, and just